Yes, we've been gone for a month. Gosh.
Woo!
Dang it.
Over
I miss
a
all of you
month.
so much. You don't even know.
I've evolved.
Oh,
I've just had to hang out with my roommate. It's been terrible. No,
I
I'm
have
kidding.
evolved like a fish growing legs.
What?
What?
Become the teenage version of yourself, as all second evolutions are from new starters.
Yes.
I've been a teenager my whole life.
Tragic. I'm so sorry.
I was the same as I was when I was a teenager.
Mm.
Okay. I've been
I
an adult all
I
my
changed
life.
very little as I've grown up.
Fun. I've been the granny the whole life. I said too many
I've been the
times.
granny the whole life.
The whole life that I have existed.
Non-pronouns and articles there.
I was babysitting other kids when I was their age. Okay.
Hey.
Happy Halloween. Merry
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
We skipped, yeah.
And later Christmas.
Happy later Christmas.
It's a new year. It's a new us.
Yep.
Okay.
So
D&D.
because it's a new us, I am Bellman now.
No.
And I'm Jane.
I
And
am.
together we are
Janeman. or Blaine? Blaine.
no.
Yeah.
Blaine is the guy from
Damon.
Glee, so you can if
He's
you
also
want.
a gym leader, I think.
Is he?
Right? Blaine's a gym leader. Okay, yeah, Blaine's a gym leader.
And my
Oh,
axe.
Pokemon?
Okay.
Right.
Shush. Don't talk about how I haven't seen Lord of the
Pokemon.
Rings.
And my ass.
Okay.
She's making me uncomfortable, Grant.
Okay. Darling, since yours.
Fight me.
I will. Bring it.
Darlings and
With your
dears.
axe and my ass.
I think I'll win.
Darlings and dears of the internet, we feel the need to reintroduce our characters to you, just so that we also remember what the heck our names are. So unfortunately, Janeman has to go away. How about we start with Vincent? You're at the left side of my screen. How about we start with you? Who is your player and who is your character?
I am Harrison Malik. I am a small child who has grown up to become an adult, who is an undercover cop with a sister that he only knew about recently. But I was sucked into another dimension that is the world of D&D. So I have lost my long lost sister again, and now I don't know where she is. In this D&D world, I am Vincent, also known as Hellwind, also known as Harrison. And I wear a cool lion mask that flames at the eyes, and I've got a sword, and I like long walks on beaches by the moonlight. Yes.
Very, very, very good.
That explains a lot.
I mean, yeah, I'm
Really
not
does.
lying. He likes beach by moonlight, just not in that context.
All right, very good. Darius, would you please introduce your player and your character for us?
Hi, I am Darius. That is my character, I think. No,
Yes.
that's my player.
Well,
No.
technically it's Traveler and character. Traveler is Ray.
Okay.
Character is Darius.
What? Okay. I'm a physics teacher named Ray von Licht, which in German means that's ray of light. So,
Oh.
anyway, I'm a half elf, and I'm a wizard, level 10, no 11 right now. So,
Well, technically, you're a level 10 wizard, level 1.
Cleric.
You're level 1.
cleric. Yeah, wizard cleric.
Also, this was very
Anyway.
helpful because I had no idea you were half elf. But I guess that explains why you can read Elvish. So I'm just
Apparently,
dumb.
he also didn't know his name meant Ray of Light.
I did not. Did my reaction give me away that much?
Gotta say, it did a little.
Yes, Darius is a half elf, which is why when he said he was 22, Remu was like, "My God, you're a baby," because half elves live to be hundreds of years old. So Darius is not unlike a teenager, or
Just
less.
like.
Well, did I lose my? Did it break?
No,
Hello?
I
you're
don't know.
there. I think we were all just talking at once, which happens.
What happened?
I don't know.
Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, can you hear
Yes.
us?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, Darius.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, well, we're trying to get Darius back online.
I don't know what happened.
Pam,
Ah!
saying it okay.
Ah!
Pam, please introduce
Everybody
yourself.
starts
Hello?
screaming.
No.
Hello,
I'm
hello,
always screaming. Just
Hello, Darius.
hello.
You could always
Hello?
just go to him directly.
Pam.
Help me.
Pam, please.
Should Pam introduce
Pam,
herself?
please introduce yourself and your traveler and your character. I will return.
Okay, my traveler is Edgar Rios, better known as Poncho.
There's an eyelash in my mouth.
And that's about it.
There's an eyelash in my mouth.
Hello.
That's
Oh.
all I am.
Why do you
I
have an
met her
eyelash?
at a sports retail store in real
Sure.
life. Shut up. My fiance's name is George. We are very
Hello.
happy together. We have
Hello.
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 Can you hear
Hello?
us?
Hello, hello, hello.
I
This
too
is going
was
great.
sucked into the
Hello?
world of Valora.
I made the
And
joke
where
about
my-
Baby Yoda and then it just went.
Baby Yoda.
No!
It's
You missed the great Baby Yoda joke.
Big Brother says no.
Okay, we should listen.
Wait, can you hear us?
I don't think he
Hello?
can. Hello?
Oh, he's muted.
How long does it take Danny to get to somewhere else in her house? How big is her house?
How big is your house?
Shouldn't you know that?
Oh, my voice connection. Oh, there we go. It's green.
Hello?
Speak,
Oh.
people.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Hello, hello.
Whoa.
We can
I'm
hear
doing
you.
another cookie.
Whoa.
Don't touch your screen.
No, it's just, why is it got an X on it?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, it says they
hello?
can hear us.
I
They
don't
can hear me.
know what I'm saying,
After these messages, we'll be right back.
but... What is that noise?
You can't hear them.
What the heck happened?
I don't know.
Nick,
Let's.
What?
are you taking an octopus off of a window?
No, I'm eating a cookie.
Hello.
Hello?
I hear.
That's not that
Hello.
popular show. Hello.
Bonjour.
Hi.
Hi.
Anyway,
What was your
I
Baby
made a
Yoda?
good joke.
What?
Hello?
Okay, he's gone again.
Dang it.
Rip.
Darius, we can't hear you.
Somewhere
Oh, I hear that.
beyond the sea.
Oh, wait, can you hear us? Darius?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay, we can hear you.
Max, you keep cutting out
Oh,
I do?
gosh.
a little bit.
Alright. I'm not sure what to do about that, but...
Thanks for letting me know.
Hey, hi, hello. I have returned.
Pam.
Granny will be right back.
After
Granny
the
is,
short commercial break.
Granny is back. I'm here. Hello. Let's see. Pam, did you introduce yourself?
I introduced Edgar.
Okay.
So I too was sucked into the world of Valora, where I now reside in Pam, who is a tiefling paladin who serves two gods and who has one amazing whip that she likes to use, and a beloved five-eyed floating pug
Mhm.
Yes.
creature named Jacques, whomst I will protect with my life, and whomst has been the catalyst for much tension in the city that we are currently in. In the best way possible, because I too would have cut that guy's arm off.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Very, very true. All right. Ashoka, can you introduce your traveler and your character for us, please?
I'm an old man.
We know that, but more
No, you're not.
specifically.
My traveler's name is Victor. Victor. I have a sister named Veronica. We're the two V's. They call us the W.
Oh.
They don't.
They don't.
I work at a park as a groundskeeper when I'm not, you know, fighting dungeons and running around in dragons. Um,
Yes, good.
like everyone else, I have been sucked into the world of D&D,
Why?
and where I
Very
have
comedic
taken up
pause.
where I have taken up the mantle of Ashoka, and occasionally known as Old Man Ashoka. I am an arsonist, um,
Yeah, not too far off base.
and I'm
A
also
murderer.
part-time a monk,
There you go.
and I think maybe a warrior monk. That's right.
You are yes, you are a monk of the Order of the Mother and Father.
Yes,
You had some time on a
whom I've
pirate ship.
never known.
You have known them. You
Oh.
were stolen from them as a. We didn't get to that yet. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Spoilers?
With
Dun, dun, dun.
with all these players reintroduced, who recalls what happened last time we were here in
I
Valora?
do.
Go for it.
Oh no.
LOL,
Please.
JK.
Okay.
Ah!
Okay. Well, the refresh had begun, and which like means chaos for a lot of Portland because the Wilds and the city of Portland are kind of at odds, and they're both planning to destroy the other, in a few different ways.
Since we reintroduced our characters, should we try to do a recap of like everything up until now?
If you think you can do that in less
No, I
than 10
don't think
minutes,
so.
go for it.
Uh,
Can you do it in like a minute and a half?
Yeah.
I can try.
Do it.
So
Go.
basically, we appeared in the town of Portland. All of us were very, very, very confused. We had no idea what was going on. We went to the dock, saw a giant monster, fought the giant monster. The giant monster left. We stayed at a hotel for a couple days with these weird people. I don't remember any of their names. And then we did some other stuff. We found out about worms. We talked to Bell. He was like, "Oh, there's worms in the city," and we were like, "Oh no, not worms. We have to kill them." He's like, "Oh, I hope you kill them," and we're like, "Okay, Bellman, thank you."
It's been 30
So, wait, I thought I had 10 minutes.
Keep going.
Continue.
Okay, and then we killed the worms. We were like, "Okay, worms dead, good," and then we went to the city center, and there was this big, huge guy with an axe, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this lady because you didn't. She's innocent. You have no proof." And then he was like, "No, you're wrong." And we're like, "No, you're wrong." And he's like, "No, you're wrong." And we're like, "No, you're wrong." So he imprisoned her, and then we saved her from prison on a flying carpet. And
Yeah, we did.
somewhere in between there that I forgot to mention. Wait, what?
Wait, it was not a flying carpet, was it?
No, Darius
It
has
was.
the fly spell. But
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we were
I'm
just
stupid.
flying
We did it.
people.
it's fine.
And somewhere along the way that I forgot to mention, we met a blacksmith lady named Suaz, and she's like, "Oh, I'm really cool because I can make swords." And she was, and she's like, "I'm starting a resistance because this group called Excelsion, who basically rules Portland, is not trying to kill everybody, but they're like, kind of shady, but also kind of not shady, but like mostly shady, like 90% or 70% shady."
80%.
And yeah, I'd say like 82%. So she said that, and she was like, "Talk to my friend Iris," and we're like, "Iris, where are you?" And while we were flying people, we ran into Iris. I don't remember how that happened, but it happened, and she was a teenager, young teenager with glasses, and she's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm a young teenager with glasses." And we're like, "Cool. Help us figure out how to get back to our world." And then we said that in front of this other person who's like an assassin lady. What? And her head exploded,
Costco.
mostly
Costco?
like metaphorically. Yeah, Costco. And then
Costco.
and then Iris is like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about," except she didn't. But we told her, and now her glasses can see into the real. And then we went into the wilds, probably. And then we went to a temple of the Arathis, and we went underground. with these cool dice things and opened up a passage. And Victor
We were
fell
there
into
for
a
several
bathtub.
episodes.
Yes, we were in this temple for like years at least, and then we left, and then we came back, and then the worms came back, and they started to destroy everything. And now we're in the wilds again. Um,
Oh my god. We learned so much in the temple, and all you said was we left.
This is beautiful.
and there's this thing called the refresh, which basically they point all new people to role, and that is happening today, right now, and everybody is destroying each other, and we're trying to stop it, but we're not succeeding in stopping it. And there's bombs and giant monsters and more worms. By the way, I forgot to mention, and beans. I think that about sums up everything.
I thought we
that
were
we've
playing
been
Lord of
through.
the Rings.
See, you guys, I
Alright.
don't think we have to worry about the episodes that we lost, and we can just do
Okay.
so good.
So I think one thing is very important to mention is your meeting with the gods and maybe what we found out about the gods. If you want to recap real fast.
Yeah. So I
Part 2.
Part 2 extended edition.
I talked to gods. Yeah, that's pretty much it. No. So I got this power. I used the power of Oliver, and I cut a hole open in the world with my sword, and I jumped through it, and I was like, "This is gonna be awesome! I'm gonna be like Nightcrawler from X-Men." And then I landed in this dark fishbowl room with nobody there, and then there was somebody there, and he took this book, and you can do anything you want to with the world. And I was like, "Anything?" And he was like, "Anything." And I was like, "I want to talk to the gods." And so I appeared in front of the gods, Arathis and Melora, and they were really angry at each other. And then I was like, "You shouldn't be angry at each other." And they're like, "Shut up! This is none of your business." And I was like,
You're a
"You know what?
stupid human
That's
child."
fair." Yeah, that's pretty much what they said, but like not as hurtful or more hurtful.
They called you insolent child. I remember
Yeah,
that.
but it hurts more coming from me. Okay. But they argued, and then I was like, "You don't need to take it out on the people. You can try to stop them from going to war." And they were like, "No, we can't do that because we can't meddle," or like, I forgot exactly what they said, but they're like, basically we can't meddle with the humans because like they're doing their own thing now. And so they gave me a potted plant, and they're like, we won't tell you what this is, but it's important. And I was like, "Gee, if that," and then they teleported me back to the normal world. And then now I have a potted plant from the gods.
Good job.
Very good, yes. Darius, if I recall, you recorded some kind of a prophecy in your book. Would you care to, if you have that on hand, would you care to repeat that? Darius?
Darius.
Darius?
While he looks, Pam, I believe something quite eventful happened to you, or rather, you did something quite eventful last session. Would you care to recount that
Okay.
particular aspect?
For several episodes, we were trying to figure out how to get rid of some bombs. And a few of the bombs went in Ashoka's hammer pants. They literally went into his pants, his hammer space pants. But we had a couple that we couldn't get rid of yet. So we were talking to a woman from the wilds that we knew. Her name is Maud. And she helped us kind of construct teleportation circles. And Darius had the idea of sending a teleportation circle to the North Pole, but there was just kind of conflicts about whether or not it would work. And I was trying to tell him to use I was trying to tell him to use the power of Oliver and the power of this world to kind of break things and mess with things. So in the end, I ended up doing that, and I kind of broke the world, and I made the teleportation circle go to the North Pole, or at least what I figured was the North Pole of this world. Um, and I brought with me the bombs and Vincent, who came with me. So right now we are trapped almost on the North Pole because it didn't quite work out. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened there.
Well said, well said. Darius, have you had the chance to find the note you took for yourself?
Okay, can I throw something in?
Go ahead.
So while Vincent was in, when he was talking to the gods, he was talking to Valora and
He is talking to Melora and Arathis.
Arathis.
Mhm.
And while we were in the temple, we discovered the prophecy in the wall in the puzzles.
Yes.
And the prophecy was a time when man and nature can no longer coexist. They shall surely bring about their own ruin from what was mutual love and protection of a shared world.
Mm.
This destruction will be in the hopes of a new beginning, so that perchance love can be found once again. Now, Vincent, didn't when you talked to the gods, didn't you get them to apologize to one another?
Did I think they kind of. I don't know. I don't think they really started things out, but like they kind of did. I don't think they like directly apologized to each.
Oh, I thought when they gave you that gift, they each had part of it. You know, one gave you the pot, the other gave you the plant.
Yeah. True.
Do you recall?
This is true. The blessing that Vincent received was a dual blessing of Arathis and Melora together.
Hello?
And then, gosh,
You okay?
can you hear us, Darius?
Hello.
Hold on. And then, in receiving them together,
Granny?
can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I hear you guys. I don't hear Granny.
Oh, can you hear
Oh,
me? Hello? Hey, hi, hello?
I can hear you fine. I don't know.
Did Granny
I can.
chime in and tell if the gods apologize to one another?
Vincent received.
Oh, you guys can hear Granny?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's strange. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I have to go to my little wheel and change my headphones to USB 5. Oh, that wheel.
Sorry, I'm used to typing and not talking. I will have to get out of that habit. Yes, Vincent received a
Go
combined
about your
blessing
stuff.
from
It's
both
fine.
Arathis and Melora. And not long after that, he also received part of the plant that Melora had constructed to close off the top of the jar. Also sprouted a bespeckled bean after being seen
Oh.
by the bright voice
Okay.
narrator.
Mm.
So,
All right. Oh, there's a city. Yeah, yay. Okay, I can still hear you guys. So,
okay,
Nice.
Okay, good.
with all this in mind, um, with all this,
so who's going to carry on from here?
um, I'm talking. I don't know why you can't hear specifically me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe type in roll 20.
I can try to type while I talk. I will do my best. Okay.
I mean, do you want to go try to help him real quick?
Mm, I can. While I go, I want you all to make this best Foley noise as you can, because this is something about how we're going to start. I want you to make some wind sounds, okay? I want you to go.
Okay. So the whole time while you're gone?
Yes, I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, here we go, guys.
But wait, if it's just my thing that's messing up for him, how am I going to test it if I'm not here?
That's a good question.
Oh gosh.
Oh, true.
Wait, can you still hear us, Darius?
Can one
I
of you
hear every
guys
one of you
describe to
except
him what my plan is?
Granny.
We are going to make Winston until she gets back. Is it?
You all gonna
Like-
pass wind until she gets back?
I'll be back.
Fuck.
I'll try something. You know what? Hold on. Let me try this. Let me try leaving the call and coming back.
Making wind.
Hello, can you guys all hear me?
Yeah.
That'll
Okay,
okay.
good.
That'll do it. All right.
Nice.
So it wasn't me.
It wasn't you, although I don't know what it was. Is there a reason Bosk is muted?
Yes. Someone knocked on my door.
Okay, no worry. Okay, with all this context now in mind, we cut to a few moments after Vincent and Pam have been teleported away, and the rest of the party who remains on the shore of the river on the western side of Portwind's Wilds hear shaking and strange noises. But first, we are going to cut to Vincent and Pam, who...
Real quick, hun. You sound a little quiet. Just a little bit.
How about now?
That's good.
Okay. We're going to cut to Vincent and Pam, who stand kind of... Vincent grabbing onto Pam's shoulder where he lunged into the circle. You guys kind of both just find yourself standing in a different place, eyes closed. And as you open your eyes, you look around and you're standing in this almost field of what you think would be wheat, but it's kind of too gray and it's chilly. And you hear just kind of blowing and whistling through these stalks of some plant. You look over to your left, and you see, having landed with the dullest of the two egg-shaped bombs, tip over slightly and land gently in the not wheat, in the whatever it is. And you look at each other, try to catch your breath to start to realize the gravity of what you've just done. Pam, could you roll 1d2 for me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. All right. And then Pam, looking around, you realize that in the midst of all this, something warm kind of pushes against your stomach and then up through your chest, and Poncho, or not Poncho, Jacques, your little baby, pokes his head out of the neck of your poncho and kind of looks up at you like, what happened? He does not say that, but that is the face he gives you. So, yes, currently you two stand in the middle of this field of wheat. As you look down, you can see here now on the ground, etched into the earth as if it had been placed here carefully every day for a year, as is required of this teleportation spell, the circle that Darius designed back in Portland. And this is where you stand. Would you two care to make some... What would you like to do?
Just real quick, I think I remember last time we played, you said something about the state of the circle. Is that still true?
The state of the circle is as such that this is a circle one returns to. It is not a circle that can go back out to somewhere else. In order to go back out to somewhere else, you'd need the return circle of the other fixed locations, such as the circles that Maud had shown you.
And there's no other circles around?
No, not that you see.
Okay. Okay, well, without even consulting my dear Vincent, I start to quickly erase the circle or try to quickly destroy the circle.
Okay, how are you doing this?
I just start scratching at the ground.
Make
Can I make an intelligence check to make sure she's doing, or like I know what she's doing?
Sure, make an intelligence check. You and Pam, I want you to make a strength check or an arcana check, actually.
Okay.
Vincent, you've just latched onto Pam as she has tried to go to this some other weird place that she was yelling at Darius for going, so you don't know what she just did, and now she's scrubbing at the ground.
All right, I'm gonna try to stop her. Pam, what are you doing?
Pam, you reach down to get on your hands and knees and just kind of start scrubbing with like your elbow to get this out, and you're trying to think about how this could possibly work. You're just like, you cannot let these bombs get back to Portwind, and you're like, I mean, if I got rid of the circle, it could work, but you're scratching at the ground and where it should be some kind of soft soil to allow this plant life to grow. It's just not. It's not budging. It's like something has been. It's like something. If this was flesh, it's like it had been a scar dug into the earth.
Yeah, I'm trying to prevent Darius from coming. I'm trying to prevent anybody else from coming through it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't want them to get stuck here like us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Vincent, you need to help me destroy this.
Shouldn't we find a way back first, and we can just tell not to come over here?
There's no way back. We can't get back.
We don't know that. I don't
Okay.
even know how we got here.
Wait, I know that, right?
You know that you bent reality to get here.
Because I thought last time, like, I was aware of the fact that this was solely to get here, not to return.
Yes, that is the way that the spell and the magic circle behaves. You'd have to break the universe some other way to try and, you know, cheat things and get back. But
Yeah.
you also don't know where you are. So.
Just my focus right now is that I don't want anybody to follow us. And knowing Darius, I don't know what he'll do. I'm just still trying to with my fingers, I'm just trying to just like scrape it away to no avail, apparently.
Make a strength check.
Okay.
Were you smart enough to take a sending stone with you?
Probably not.
You break a
Okay,
nail,
Mr.
Pam.
Zero Intelligence. Okay. Vincent, they can't come. They cannot come here. They have to stay there. They cannot come and be here. They just can't.
I'm just kind of sitting there and thinking about it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Would both of you care to make perception checks as you look around you?
Yes.
What's the answer about the sending stone?
I don't think I have it, but I can't remember.
Iris has the other sending stone, Darius.
Yeah.
Okay, Vincent, you have decided to plop down next to Pam while she's doing whatever insane thing she's doing with the ground, and you're just kind of watching the wheat and seeing how these bombs have smashed the wheat, and you're like, "Aw, poor wheat." Pam, the more that you're like scratching at this dirt, the more that it's like everything but the symbol is coming up under your palms. Like you start to dig a small hole and the symbol is still there, and you're like, and you move to a different spot and you dig and the hole is still there. And as you like, it's almost like your body takes over the task, this repetitive motion that isn't getting you any further. And as it does, your kind of other senses widen out a little bit, and you hear the wind, and you feel the kind of chill against your skin, and you can feel the kind of like soft ends of this plant come across you, and you can kind of something registers in your mind that with how cool it is here and how kind of like how your breathing feels and what the air feels like, you must be somewhere really, really high up. And it's cold. It's like if you weren't so when you dig further into the earth, it starts to feel kind of like the deeper down you go, the colder it gets. And the way that the wind is kind of whistling makes you feel like you're on or near some kind of a weird precipice. Um, Pam, I'd like you to make. That's pretty good perception. I'd like you to make a history check
Okay.
to see if you can figure out, okay, any context for where you are. Um, Unfortunately, the traveling caravan that you were with for much of your life
Mm.
worked mainly through cities and well-populated, dense areas. This is not someplace you have ever been, though off the top of your head you can come up with perhaps a few places it could be, but there's however many mountain peaks and tall passes in this world. I'm not sure which you might stand at.
I'm gonna start trying to break this with my crowbar.
With your crowbar. Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check.
You gonna try to what?
Break the circle with my crowbar.
Yes. Oh.
That could have been better. Wait, can I use athletic, or is it too late?
Athletic. I don't think using a crowbar is particularly athletic.
Okay.
I disagree.
Even with all your strength, the similar to what Pam realizes, you can see that even as you hack away at the dirt and are almost harvesting wheat at this point, as you hack away at it, everything but the circle goes away.
Can I try to search deep inside my arcanic knowledge or history or whatever to see if I know how to destroy one of these without breaking the world again?
I will say
this is just like the sole focus of my attention. I don't care about anything else right now besides destroying this circle.
Do you want to meditate about it, or do you want to just think really hard?
Would Pam meditate? No.
Okay, make an Arcana check with disadvantage because you're not a wizard and you don't know how this stuff works.
I feel like it's disadvantage because of sass, but okay.
It's not. I was gonna give you disadvantage, and then you said that you wanted to focus really hard on it. I gave you a religion option because you're a paladin, and you said no. So you are not sure how to get rid of this thing. It feels like it should be something that's obvious or would make sense, but you're just not sure. As you guys are kind of there digging at this, Jacques struggles out of your poncho and is kind of just like and floating lazily above your heads on his little cloud and starting to kind of like circle. Pam, do you have his stats on you by chance?
I do.
Could you roll a perception check for Jacques?
Yes, I can. Perception is
wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. As you guys are standing there digging and hacking away at wheat in this circle, you guys watch as Jacques' little panting self starts to drift in one direction.
Oh.
Away from you guys.
What?
We can't just let him leave.
What are you talking about? What? Jacques? I like get up.
I'll stay here. Go see what Jacques needs.
Okay, I like go start to kind of traipse after him.
Okay, so you start to slowly follow Jacques. As you do, we're going to cut back to Darius and Ashoka. You are standing on the edge of a river in the western wilds of Savine. Pam and Vincent and the bombs have just disappeared. You felt rumblings coming from the inner part of the city and heard strange sounds approaching from the eastern side of the wilds on the entire other side of the city. Iris, Maud, and Remus all look pretty nervous. And you're standing there kind of dumbfounded.
Darius looks nervous too.
Good to know. So the bombs are gone, but some other problems have arrived. What would you like to do?
Well, my first thought is, how do I get Pam and Vincent back?
Ashoka?
Am I an old man or am I normal?
You are not an old man.
Okay. Then I am lucid.
You're
So
elusive or lucid?
lucid.
Okay.
You sounded disappointed. Um, I'm kind of confused at where Vincent and Pam went. Are they not in this place anymore?
Who are you asking, Ashoka?
Uh, Probably the dungeon master.
You watched as Darius and Pam had an argument in which you didn't quite understand why they were arguing. And then Darius had drawn a circle. Pam had stepped into the circle, closed her eyes. Vincent dove in after her. And then she, Vincent, and the bombs all just kind of disappeared.
And do we know where they are?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Darius knows.
I will
Hypothetically.
absolutely do that, but me as Nick, just I'm confused, and do I as Nick know? Should I have heard where they are at?
Good.
Theoretically,
I am
they are
confu-
at. Darius was trying to send them. He was trying to put them at whatever the North Pole of this world would be. His argument being that a natural circle would be the North Pole, so he could use it
Okay.
more easily to create that kind of a thing. So go ahead and roll an intelligence check to see how much of that Ashoka got.
Okay. Probably, if it's anything like me, then probably nothing.
Darius was being Ray and trying to use science to do magic. And Pam was like, "You can't use science to do magic. This is a different dimension. You don't know if it works the same way."
Well, it's a big number.
Yes, so you roughly understand that Darius tried to apply Ray's understanding of the normal world to this
Mhm.
place. And because you guys haven't been here before, in this way that you are now, in the way that you are actually Victor in Ashoka's body, that theoretically he put them somewhere near the North Pole. Actually, you're not sure if that's where they ended up.
Okay, but
But
do do I? So where they ended up in reality is just some wheat field.
where where you're not sure where they are.
I know. Me as Ashoka doesn't know, but me as a confused boy, Nicholas Levis, are they
Okay.
just amongst wheat?
They
Monster.
are. You as Nicholas Lavis having heard the things that just transpired.
Okay,
No.
sweet.
So before I started this whole thing,
Oh.
I drew 2 circles.
Mhm.
We drew a circle to go and we a circle to come back.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Is either one of those left?
No,
They took both the circles with them.
that's not how that works. And no, they didn't.
Can we?
What?
Oh, I have an idea. Let's draw a third circle.
Oh my god!
Nick, so you understand.
This is my scientific understanding of science in the magic world. It's not.
Nick, where they
Yes.
ended up from the details that Pam and Vincent observed with their roles. It does seem like a wheat field, but it seems to be in an odd place because it's at a really high elevation, slightly more humid in the air. The air is thinner, and someplace
Well,
very,
that's
very
not
high.
likely for wheat to grow.
Yeah, it may not be wheat. It's the closest analogous that they have, based on the
This
information.
is all wrong. This is cognitive dissonance at its finest.
Ashoka, Darius, what would you like to do?
Hey, Darius.
Yeah, Vincent, what's up?
What happened?
Well,
Why did they go?
I,
Why did they leave?
I had planned on going into the circle myself and going to the North Pole
Oh, that's why
And
she
then-
was mad.
and then coming back to the other circle. But she cast something on me that I couldn't move. So
Oh, should I have done
She-
something?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, can you? Okay, so you made one circle. Theoretically, can you actually draw a third circle?
He made no circle. I'm
Like,
not
to
there,
get-
but oh my god.
to get them back to get them, or maybe for us to get to where they are.
You guys?
Who's that?
It's Iris, Ashoka, come on. You guys, I know.
I wasn't here when your character was introduced.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were.
You were eating potatoes or something.
Yeah.
You guys, I understand that you're worried, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I think we need to focus on this. It's
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 15.
What's up, Iris?
I'm
Okay, that's
so
too young to slap out into consciousness. Calm down. What's happening?
She gestures wildly just to the other side of the city where you
And I'm just
see-
smiling.
where you
Okay, so what's happening over there? If you haven't noticed, I'm consistently confused.
I have noticed. I'm
Well, that's good. Okay, so there's a Tarrasque coming.
I thought about the Tesseract,
So-
like
No.
Avengers.
Avengers.
Should
That's-
I
oh,
be
no.
concerned? Iris, young Miss Iris, you seem smart. Should I have picked a different adventuring party than this one? I know
Yeah,
it's too late to
yeah.
ask, but you shouldn't. Now I'm especially concerned. Why are you like this?
Me?
Yes, you.
I shift back and forth in between a, crazy old man and then this person. And not to mention, I'm supposed to be a park worker
Oh my god.
full time, I'm pretty sure.
What?
I think. What?
If you're part of the wilds, then why are you trying to stop this? Go fight for the. I don't
Oh,
understand what
should
you're
I
saying.
wait? Should I go fight for someone? Just tell me who to fight for.
Maud throws up her hands and walks away.
Wait, Maud.
What? Yes.
Okay. Let's break down the biggest thing to deal first, and then let's go deal with it. Let's make a list, a pros and cons list.
I think
Okay,
we're
let's
little
make a
bit
list.
Out of time for
Uh-oh.
something of that
What?
nature.
You got old man mouth. I can't hear you.
That is relatively appropriate considering. And Remus, the Tabaxi man, whom is friends with Bellman and also you, waves his hand over your face.
What's happening?
Both of you make a perception check, please.
Oh my god.
Perception. Thought that said percussion.
Okay.
I got
How do
19
you make them good
perception.
rolls? How?
Darius, if you would.
The stupidest character. Okay, so a Tesseract is basically a big old Godzilla. So maybe.
Tarrasque.
Oh, listen. It is 9:12.
You feel vibrations coming through the very last traces of vibrations coming through under your feet. You look up over to the horizon and you don't see a looming figure quite, but you do see the wilds on the other side. You see trees.
It's windy today.
One by one, the trees falling in the path of something as the ground shakes in a way that
Wait.
your
don't
upset
think
has
that's
become slightly familiar. Making
Okay,
its way towards
that's
the
probably a
city.
monster. Probably a legit D&D monster. So maybe for Darius, we should find a way to fight it.
Okay, I'm all for that.
Okay, what do you propose?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head. We should go find a way to fight it.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Do you know
We're
how to fight
small.
Godzilla? Yeah.
We need King Ghidorah, King Gadong, King Gaflanga. You
Badonka.
were able to make basically a teleporting thing using a combination of science and magic, yes. So why don't you use that technique to just make like an atomic bomb or something? Wait, do we still have one of the bombs? Let's just throw it at the Tesseract, at the Tarrascosaurus.
Iris has her hands
Nope.
against her temples.
Yes.
Iris, I just tap on her shoulder. Iris, I have an idea.
What is your idea, Ashoka?
We can use the bombs
Uh-huh.
to blow up
Uh-huh.
the Tarrasque.
Tarrasque, yes. Do you still have bombs? Or did you...
I thought they only took one bomb.
They had two.
Okay, Darius, let's focus on getting back to them so we can get the bombs. Then we
Mhm.
can blow up Godzilla and like half the city, which is probably fine.
More trees fall. You still don't see an outline of the figure or hear any of its actual noises, but you still feel the ground shaking. Not
What if
near
it's not
you.
that big? What if it's just really small, actually?
It's just perspective.
Listen, I'm the only one coming with ideas. I know they're all terrible, but
Okay, okay. What if
What if we use something like Dimension Door or something and send him send him where they are, where Pam and Vincent are?
let them deal with it. Okay, it's agreed.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
they got the bombs.
I'm pretty sure Dimension Door, it has to be someone your size or smaller that you take with you somewhere. And it's only within 500 feet. And you don't, and none of us know where they. And
What
Iris
if I
starts to look like
turn into a
actually
mist
woozy.
and
Okay.
expand my mist size to the size of the Tarask, and then I cast Dimension Door, um,
Mm.
and then do you see where I'm going with this?
Pardon me, this is all quite a valiant thing, but I think that the time may have passed for certain clever ideas as this. We either need to go fight, whatever that is, or tell the people in city center to get out. Those are the options that I see.
Okay, let's do both because no matter what, people should evacuate. I volunteer to go fight the Tarask.
Alone?
Yes, that's a
Ashoka?
great idea. I was actually talking about going as a team, but I like that idea better.
Ashoka? Ashoka?
Yeah, I pat her on the head and I start
She
walking.
grabs your face. Ashoka, you will die.
Yes. Okay.
That's not
And
even using my the newfound abilities I have.
uh
It's just me
right. Okay.
knowing logically you will
Yes.
die. Don't
Okay.
do that.
Okay. I have a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
I run.
Make an athletics check. She's gonna try to make a dexterity saving throw to stop you from
Go.
running.
No, jeez. Don't touch me. Athletics. Where are you? There we go. -1. It's gonna work. Luck be on my side. Yes.
Oh my
Are you
god!
serious?
Oh my! How does he make the best?
Don't
Darius
worry,
is-
I'll take care of it.
Darius, you see Iris lurch after him and kind of trip over her robes and land on her chin as he, being a monk, runs directly across the surface of the water from the river and onto the other side and starts to, and like in the same movement, leaps over the wall of the city and into it.
See, I can be cool if I want to be.
No one can hear you because you've left the party behind.
I
Darius.
said that to myself and I smiled and then I like patted myself on the back and I'm like, you know what? You're all right.
Make a perception
Also,
check
I
as
want
you
to.
run into the city. Yeah?
Okay. Also, how long is it going to take for me to get to where this Tarask is?
It'll take you, if you're running full speed, you are a monk, you're pretty fast. It'll still take you at least like 5 to 10
Okay.
minutes. That's a natural one on perception. You're just super thinking about that very cool jump you just did.
Oh my
Darius, what would you
Okay,
like
so
to
I'm
do?
just gonna
Okay, everybody.
full
Okay.
steam ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. What are you doing? Tell me.
I'm literally just gonna run until I come head to head with the Tarask, and then I'm gonna unleash my super great Ashoka plan.
Okay, so you are running. You continue running for a little bit of time while you do that. Darius, you have the 3 NPCs I've listed with you. Ashoka has just run away.
About the chat.
What would you like to do, Darius? 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 I, 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 I need to find Olron. This isn't okay. I need to find Olron. Darius? Oh.
Can you hear us?
Darius, can you hear?
Darius. Maybe he stepped away.
He was just typing in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
Oh.
It
Well,
only makes it sadder when I say things and other people can't hear. It's just
Yeah, it really does.
Iris pushes herself up to her knees and kind of um, leans over into the water and kind of looks into it for a moment, and kind of reviewing her reflection as her eyes go wide. And while we're trying to figure out Darius's technical issues, we'll cut back to Vincent and Pam. Pam, you're following Vincent?
I'm calling
Jacques.
Jacques, but
Of course.
So where is Jacques going?
Jacques seems to be moving just kind of generally forward. You're not sure if it's north, but it's north of where you were relative to like just how you were standing.
Does he have control over it?
He's like his tail is wagging. He doesn't seem like he's charmed or anything. He just seems like he's like a dog here following a smell line.
I see. Okay. Well, I don't let him go too far. Jacques, come here, buddy. Hey, come here.
Make an animal handling check.
What do you see, Jacques? What do your pug eyes see?
He like
Come
comes
on.
down to you and circles around your head, and you like think you're about to catch him, get him in your hands, and then he shoots back up and goes faster towards the direction that he was going.
Jacques! I just start running after him. Jacques! Hey!
He's
Stop it.
thinking it's a game now, and so he's following you.
Oh no.
Or
Serious.
he's like leading you on.
I'm serious. Jacques, come. Jacques, float down here right now. Jacques.
He floats down, but then he goes in between the wheat that's still there, so you can't even see him. So he's just
Jacques,
like weaving in between.
Jacques!
So you're running and running. Make an athletics check for me.
Jacques, I am not playing right now. Get over here.
Okay, so you're able to keep up with him. You're within like 10 feet behind him, and he raises up above, like just above the wheat, so his little toe beans are touching the wheat, but that's it. And
Can I
after,
pounce?
huh?
Can I pounce and try to catch him?
Make a acrobatics check. He's going to, and I need you to make a dexterity check for him.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. You try to like think.
I'm gonna try.
Well,
Who
okay.
knows what's gonna happen?
What would I do if I was still in the circus and you do like a cool move?
Are you serious?
And it just slips out of your hand.
Okay.
So you keep following him and keep following him and keep following him, and then after a certain point, you realize that the wheat around you is growing thinner and thinner and thinner, and then it just kind of falls away entirely, and then Jacques keeps going, and then after maybe 40 more feet, he just kind of stops and like settles himself on the ground and looks up at you, little tail wagging.
Jacques? What is it, buddy? And just like kind of rub my eyes together.
Make a perception check for me as you look around.
What did you bring me out here? What are we looking at?
You look around, and maybe another 100 feet from you, you see a cliff's edge, and you see someone sitting with their legs dangling off of it, and next to them, you see like a tray with a little bit of food on it, and 2 cups of something hot. You can see the steam rising up off of it.
How far away are they?
100 feet.
Can I pick up Jacques?
Sure. He goes willingly.
Okay.
Tail still wagging. It thumps against your side.
Hey! I yell. I just start like, hey you!
The like head turns for a second, like slightly to the side so you can see the ear, and then turns back. And then you think for a second that maybe they're trying to ignore you, but then they hold out their right hand and gesture to the tray with the cups and the food.
Huh? I'm like, oh, okay. And Jacques? All right, listen, buddy. I hold him in front of my face and I'm just looking him in the eyes. You have to go back to Vincent, okay? He's the tall one with the sword. You know him. I want you to go back to him and stay with him no matter what, okay?
He's sniffing your face.
Okay. Also, I want you to tell him how upset I am that he's even here right now. Okay? So go on. Go on, get.
He blinks one eye at you at a time slowly. I want you to make an animal handling check for me.
All right, can you do this? Can you do that for me? Go back to Vincent. Nobody else.
Okay. You kind of like leave him there, expecting him to kind of float away, and he just kind of stays and tilts his head at you a few times. But then he lands and like starts to walk back towards the wheat, and you think that maybe he's listening, but you're not quite sure. But
I'm just gonna. So I start making my way towards the person.
okay. As you approach, you
Shut up.
as you approach, you get closer. You see that this person has like a tangle of really long, really curly gray hair, and as you approach, you can see that they're pretty tiny. They're like a halfling or a gnome. You're not quite sure. As you approach from the side, do you like go up to sit on the cliff next to them or on the other side of the tray?
Yes.
Okay. So you sit and do you dangle your legs off the cliff?
Yeah.
Okay. You sit and you dangle your legs off the cliff. It's pretty gray up here. It reminds you a little bit of the sky giant you had met ages before back in the nest, where he used to live, but it's a lot more gray. It's a lot kind of sadder. And you look older and you see that this is clearly like a very, very, very old gnomish woman with like pretty simple clothes, like a rope necklace with a little like flat wooden circle talisman on it. And she tucks like some of her hair behind her ear. You can see that there's a bunch of piercings in it, and there's some like she's got long sideburns and these kind of big, almost creepy eyes. Like the eyes that see too much kind of thing. And they're almost like they're so pale that the lines of the iris are the only thing that keep them from being like purely white through to the pupil, but there is that there, so it's creepy but not completely wild. So
yes. Where am I?
you are where you chose to be. You.
Listen, I appreciate it, but that's not what I need right now.
She looks at you with her weird eyes. You don't realize how much you've changed things. Because once you've changed them, that is how they always were. Do you understand?
I think so.
This place, she kind of gestures backward, didn't used to always be like this, but now it always has been. Because that circle has always been there. Always. Drink your tea. Don't let it get cold. She like pushes the cup towards you.
Oh, thank you. Is there turmeric in this?
Yes, and some like chickpea essence, a little bit of mint. I like to experiment with some of my own blends.
No, yeah, it's good. It smells good. Thank you.
Experiment.
You're pregnant. Okay.
Do you take a sip of the tea?
I do.
Okay, she takes a sip of it as well. Um,
So, who are you?
it doesn't matter anymore. I'll be dead soon.
All right, well, that's. I'd still like to know,
Well,
but I guess it's not up to me.
that that is true. I was and currently am what is known as the Elder Oracle.
Hmm.
Before that, I was someone else, but that matters even less, perhaps.
Before what?
Or before I was chosen, before I was given my gift.
Hmm.
But
Does that just mean you know a bunch of stuff?
you'd think, but it feels a lot more like, hmm, seeing the inevitabilities of things even as they constantly change, realizing how little control I have over anything except myself.
Hmm.
But I do see certain things with certainty. For instance, I know that my time as the Elder Oracle has very nearly come to a close.
How do you how do you know that?
Well, I always knew it would, but I think I didn't always knew it would. I think you and your friends may have changed things. I
Yeah.
yes. Do you do you know who is going to inherit my position? Because I believe that I do.
I think I do too. But I don't know if that's I don't know if it's for the best.
Quite young to be an elder.
Yeah. A lifetime.
Indeed. Well, nevertheless, the food too. It's not good. I'm not a good cook. I'm better at tea, but it is there.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I take a bite.
Hmm. It's kind of mushy. Maud's food was better, and hers wasn't great either. But
it's
awful.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Apparently, whatever things run the future don't think that showing me whatever good new cooking inventions coming up will. No, not that. And bad omens and a storm across the horizon and the last dragon eggs and all this. Sure, but any
Whoa.
how to.
What did you say?
I don't know where they are.
The last dragon eggs?
Okay, I don't know where they are. I just know that they are.
So do I, but that's not helpful.
Gee, I wonder how I feel. But
do you got a name, Elder Oracle?
I did.
You know my name probably.
I'm not sure that I do. Besides, it's rude when I don't let people introduce themselves. I learned that the hard way. Who are you?
Um Poncho.
Boncho. She points to
Yeah.
your clothes. Appropriate.
Tongue in cheek, I know.
Hmm.
On the nose.
I used to have a name, but then I used to live at the top of a high mountain in a cave, and people would come into me and say, Oracle, Oracle, tell us our future. And I forgot. But I suppose I could pick one.
Yeah.
Let's see. She like looks at her hands, which are very small and very wrinkled and covered in like veins. She kind of flexes them. Who do these hands belong to? I feel like a Wanda.
Wanda.
Do you think I look like a Wanda? I feel like a Wanda.
If you feel like a Wanda, then you are a Wanda.
Wanda forever.
Wanda,
Yes.
what advice do you have for the next one?
What advice do I have for the next one? Don't fight it too hard. Accept the parts of it that are good, and the parts of it that are bad, do your best with. Try to remember your name. That's honestly irresponsible of me. I should have tried to remember my name. It's a little bit like I could have done better with that. Know that, as impossible as it may seem, she has to believe her future is important too. You know, it's weird. I never got visions about myself until this one.
What is it?
Well, I'm going to die. You see this? And she kind of like gestures out vaguely. And where you guys are at, it's this high, kind of pointed cliff top that kind of leads out into a bunch of just like clouds that are kind of dense and high up. And she kind of kicks her feet, and a little bit of breeze comes from it and pushes part of the clouds a little bit further away. And you can kind of lean out and look down, and far, 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 far down, there's like water. Dark waters. Kind of like, if you listen ever so faintly, you can hear kind of a of them hitting against some kind of stone way down. You know, it's weird, but gave me an excuse to travel. You know, I used to live at a different high mountain peak, so I had to come here. Yeah, I knew I was going to die here, so I had to come here. I never traveled. You know, people come to see Great Oracle. It's part of some people's quests. It's a thing with,
Right.
you know.
Of course.
But, you know, perhaps I should be grateful. I got to see the world. Not something everyone can say. But there's no shame in loving a place enough to stay there, either.
How much of the world did you see, and how much of it did you envision?
She like puts air quotes around it.
Yeah. See.
I saw a lot of it, and I suppose I should be grateful for that too. I saw, air quotes, other things that some people never will never get the chance to. I could give people hope, could tell people hard truths, could see things beyond and beneath.
Did you ever see things that didn't happen?
It's strange. Some of the things that I saw were so far away from me, and the people who they happened to were so far that I have no way of knowing if they did or didn't happen. So, but you'll never know. Most of the other ones did. This will. She gestures to the cliff. So, my track record is pretty good. She takes a sip of her tea and kind of looks over at you. You haven't asked me about yourself yet. you know, when most people meet an oracle, they go, "Oh, oracle, what does my future hold?" This is the standard practices.
Right. Yeah. I just like shake my head.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Right? I mean, I brought the stupid bombs here, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but it doesn't matter because it's over, and it's gonna happen no matter what, and I have no control over that, and I have to face. I just like swallow. I have to face whatever comes with that. But a technical question, which I've been wondering about.
Yes.
What happens if I die?
Well,
Like, what happens if I die here?
I can't tell you that because I don't know. Because, believe it or not, your death isn't a certainty yet, though. You're adventuring types, I wouldn't be quite surprised.
Yeah.
And what you do still matters. You know that. Perhaps more than the other people here. Perhaps more than me. Perhaps more than the new Elder Oracle. Perhaps more than kings and queens. But I think part of being a person is making choices and then accepting inevitability along with them. It seems contradictory, but it isn't, because the choices you make are because of who you are, and you are who you are because of 1,000 other choices you made and other people made. Inevitability is designed by people's small choices. So, don't use it as an excuse to not make choices. That's when, people not making, you want to know how many bad things I've seen happen by people not making choices? No. Make choices. Do something. Don't give up.
What if I make a choice I don't like what it makes me?
Then choose different next time.
It's not that, but you can't go back and change it. It's part of you now. Whether you like it or not, that bad thing is part of you.
That's true. But that doesn't mean that many, many, many good things can't be part of you after it.
I guess.
Accepting your past is quintessential of moving on to your future. That is what I have learned. Now, she stands up and stretches and kind of pushes her arms out above her head, and you can see she's maybe like 3'6". Let's get that muscle boy of yours over here and push these bombs this way so that I can, have a grand send off. I am the damn Elder Oracle. I'm going to make a show of this. Come on. She claps her hands.
All right, Wanda.
She smiles. Like she'd already forgotten about her own name again, but she was like, "Oh yes, Wanda."
Okay. I just put my fingers in my mouth and I'm attempting to whistle really loudly. So, okay, is that a performance check?
Yeah, make a performance check.
All right. Well,
you whistle and Jacques
oh no!
panting out of the wheat and runs immediately up to the tray and starts eating what was left of the food.
Oh, okay. All right. Jacques, okay, Wanda, I'm gonna go get him. You stay here with Jacques, okay?
All right. And she kind of nods and immediately begins looking at Jacques like, "You're so weird. I saw you. You know you had 8 eyes once and then you had 5. It was one of the things that changed." And then as she's doing that, and as you walk in to go get Vincent, we'll cut back to Mr. Ashoka. Ashoka, you have been running dead sprint across the city. Yes?
Yes. Where am I?
Oh
um,
my god.
right now, you're about to the Temple of Arathis, which is on the far east. I knocked off my mouse. On the far east side of Portland.
Okay, how far away is that in respect to the Tarascosaurus?
It's a
Tyrannosaurus.
lot closer.
It is a lot
Sweet.
closer. Um,
I'm almost there.
Oh my god.
And then I'll unleash Plan Ashoka 2.0.
okay, as you're roughly here-ish, I would like you to go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Perceive this.
Okay. As you were running through the city, your monk sensibilities were keeping you kind of in touch with the different things happening, kind of almost through the different vibrations that were going on in the ground as you were moving. And you could feel the tremors in the ground. You were coming from the edge of the. Can you see my mouse? Or no?
No.
Okay. You were coming from this end of the river and cutting through the city. As you're cutting through the city, making various all manner of impressive things to dodge in between everything. You realized that a lot of the rumbling, some is coming from roughly here, but then a lot is also coming from here near city center. And as you look through, you're starting to see. You're starting to see more and more and more broken stones, similar to the pathways that the other purple worms had cut through the city before, kind of popping up across the way, here
Mm-hmm.
and here and here and here. And as you get to the Temple of Arathis, roughly here, you look out and you see that about this much of the wilds, the trees have fallen, and this far back. But looking up and out, you still don't see a Tarask. You see like a bunch of fallen trees, dozens of fallen trees past the Temple of Arathis, but you don't see a Tarask. And Tarask is like a dinosaur. You should be able to see a Tarask. And then you're like, well, you must just have to keep running. So you do.
Oh no, they discovered stealth mode.
And as you finish that last bit of running, we're going to cut quickly back to Darius. What are you doing? You have your Remus, you have your Maud, you have your Iris. What are you doing? Iris is having these existential crisis looking into the river.
I noticed you didn't say Gregnut, so he must be with the others. He's gonna get blown up.
Do you want me to? Would you rather? I will DM you something real quick. Darius, tell me what you're doing.
I guess we're going to go towards the. We're going to follow with Ashoka and go deal with the Trask.
Okay. Do you still have? You have Pam's flying carpet. Are you just gonna use that?
Sure, fine. Everybody, hop on. Let's go. Let's go fly a kite up in the highest height.
Okay.
Let's go fly a carpet
Okay.
till we see
I-
the whites of their eyes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
As you get onto the carpet,
Hello?
Iris kind of. Can you hear us?
Why is it when I
Gosh?
keep talking, I keep dying?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
It shows
can
my
hear you.
light still blinking when I talk.
We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, someone says in the stream it's really quiet.
Oh gosh, me or everybody?
Um, they said the DM just you first, but then they said the stream is just really quiet.
I can just turn everything up a bit. I don't know if that'll help.
Yes, can we? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'll turn stuff up. Nobody scream. Nobody hurt our listeners' ears.
Oh,
Everyone
I
but
can't
mostly
promise
the
that.
DM.
Okie doke.
Why does it
Thank you
keep doing that?
for your input, Darius. Can you hear us?
I hear you now, yeah.
Okay. Darius, as you go to step onto the flying carpet with your buddies, Iris kind of grabs the the wrist of your robe and goes, I don't know if I can. I have to find Olran. I have to get to city center. Daria, something's happening. I don't know. I have the sending stone. I'll be fine. I'll tell you if. Uh, I have to go. I can't.
No. Okay, hold on, Iris.
Mhm.
Come with us, and then when we get over there by the Tarask, you can take the carpet and go find Oleron.
Daria, something's gonna happen at sea. I don't know how I know, but I do. And please, I need to. Please, I need to go. I can't. Please.
I don't want to be without you, Iris.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay. She kind of like stares at you for quite a little bit of time, and then you watch as her eyes kind of like widen and then look a little strange, and then she kind of. Okay, fine. And then she climbs onto the carpet with you.
All right, cool. All right, everybody set?
Maud looks very nervous. Remus nods in his go-getterism assent.
All right. So off we go like a bat out of hell.
I will say that since you have this fly spell, you are relatively proficient at flying through all this. Can you make a quick perception check for me as you're flying through the city to see how much of the destruction it is that you see, particularly from your higher up vantage point? And then we can. Okay. You're trying to focus on what's going on in the city, but because so much of it has already been destroyed, it's starting to get, and this kind of thought horrifies you a little bit, but you have to compartmentalize it and shove it away for later. So much of the city has already been destroyed by these purple worms and the different things happening that more of it happening is just kind of going to the back of your mind of like, oh, wasn't it always like that? So you and zoom across the city. And then a few minutes later, you meet up with Ashoka as Ashoka is making the rounds outside. How are you going to get? Are you going to climb the walls to the other side to the wilds, Ashoka, or are you going to try to go through the temple?
I am going to run through the walls.
Okay.
Intelligent.
Would you like to make a strength check?
I would like to actually just use the more logical solution and just walk over the wall because I can do that as a monk.
Oh, you're right. You can walk up and down walls. So you're not going through the walls. You're going up,
Yep.
over, down. So Darius, you catch Ashoka as he's walking down the outside of the wall of the wilds.
I'm just like, hey, Darius, I made it.
Yep.
Now you can see Plan Ashoka 3.0 fall into play and play.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Where's the target?
That's a good question. Do you have an aerial view of the Tesserask? Tarask. I know.
Tesserask. Okay. You guys are to come off of the other side of Arathis' temple. You see roughly over here. The area that had been cleared by the Tarask was around here, reaching further and further back. Both of you make another perception check as you're kind of surveying the area from up close. Okay. Okay. Darius and Ashoka. As you watch, this like last line of trees starts to slowly and you watch as emerging slowly from the forest. Footsteps muffled by the sounds of all these trees falling as it makes its way out. A mountainous, spike covered, leathery, thick skinned creature with just all manner of spikes and teeth and horns comes out and kind of swings its massive titanic head over to you and just kind of opens its mouth with its many, many, many teeth. It's pretty far away from you still, 100 or so feet, but the size of this thing, that doesn't look like entirely too much distance for it to cross. What would you like to do?
I'm just like, tis expected. And then I'm like, hey, Darius,
Yep.
I have an idea.
Go for it.
Okay.
Tell me what it is first. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to. Well, I mean, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I. It's technically out of game, but I'm like, hey, Dungeon Master, I want to use my Oliver roll.
Okay. Um, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do to break reality?
I want to become a gigantic monster that can rival this beast in the shape of Ra, the sun god.
For your Oliver roll, you want to become a god.
Yes, but a giant god.
A god, but make it big. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's see. How do we want to do this? Are you so you're doing this um as Victor? Are you doing this willfully, hopefully, by something you're
We
going
can't
off?
hear you, hon.
No? Oh, sorry. I was turning to my other screen. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Are you doing this willfully, hopefully, using some form of memory, a bond, something curious, or to reach a greater understanding?
Purely because I have a memory of me legitimately thinking that I was Amon Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
The
god.
And I'm
sun
like,
god.
oh, okay, I must be able to do this.
Okay.
Also, I just really want to fight this monster.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So roll 1d6 plus 1.
Okay, so this is how I become a monster, right?
Uh,
1d6.
I sure
So
hope
this
so.
is guaranteed
if you roll
to
well,
make me a monster. Roll. Is it slash roll? It's been a long time. Is it slash roll or roll
roll
slash?
1d6 plus 1.
Slash roll.
You ask this every time, so don't make it seem like it's
Okay,
because
okay. Let's just pick on Nick, you
it's been
know.
over a month. You do this every time.
Okay.
Am I a monster now?
Darius, you hold on a quick second. I want a visual reference.
Yes, I told you I am Amon Ra.
You watch as Ashoka steps forward, this bald half-orc monk with his simple sandals and his pants that are no longer hammer pants, and his satchel and all his accoutrement, and you watch as his form kind of twitches and shifts and then grows and grows and grows. Size reference, are you Godzilla right now? Is that what you want?
Size reference, I am Tarask.
Tarask. Okay. This titanic size thing, a with the body of a man with a cowl, shirtless, and the head of a hawk, not unlike Bert Phil, but he also has like a large bucket of, you're not sure, but it looks like it's got water in it on his head, and these powerful wings, and this kind of golden light just seems to kind of come off of him as he stands, now almost just about as tall as the temple to Arathis, this entirely blasphemous just other god that was Ashoka a second ago, stands in front of this Tarask. And Darius, make a perception check for me as Ashoka undergoes this Titanic wonderful transformation.
Oh my god.
Darius, make a perception check.
Harrison.
Hold on.
Okay, you are too caught up in Ashoka's transformation, and you're kind of blinded a little bit by the light coming off of him to kind of see the response of the Tarask or whatever else is going on. Okay, with your new size, you are still roughly 100 feet away from the Tarask, but you are now of equal size to it. What would you like to do, Ashoka? Let me see if I can pull up the character. Okay, let me figure this out. Tell me what you want to do.
I would like to use my solar blast of the third kingdom and just, as much as I can, decimate this beast.
Okay.
That's for you history buffs out there.
I'm going to say, roll 1d20 Sunblast. That would probably be like a legendary. Roll 1d20 plus 15.
What's happening?
That's so
What?
you get this idea.
Direct one.
You get this idea of this fantastic just sunblast from your hands, and as you go to do it, Darius, you watch as this godlike figure above you, the beard that is like this thick black perfectly rectangular beard that came off of his face just in an instant turns gray and the feathers turn gray and the beak looks kind of cracked, and suddenly you've expelled all this natural energy that you have as Ashoka, and you are now very, very old Ashoka Amun-Ra.
Where am I?
Darius, I want you to make another perception check.
Okay.
I've grown. I'm no longer old man Ashoka.
Darius, you're saying all this, Ashoka, but as you do, you're so much bigger than Darius that it sounds a lot deeper to him and somehow it's still cool. Darius, two things. You look forward and watch as for the barest moment, part of the Tarask seems to almost like flicker in and out of existence, and then that registers, you realize Ashoka's gotten old, and then from a farther off part of the city, you just hear screaming start.
Well, who's screaming? I heard that, and I didn't have to make a perception roll. That's canon.
Iris is kind of looking around and going, wait, what? She's gonna make a perception roll because she is a smart cookie. Maud is like hiding. Remus just doesn't know what to make of this.
Oh my god.
Perception plus 3. What is going? Darius, she pulls on your sleeve and looks at you. Why do you let him do this? What is happening? What do we do? Ashoka, what would you like to do? You're now old, but you're also Amun-Ra.
I would like to. I'd like to go back to my cassettes and listen to my rockabilly.
Oh my god.
Do you want to move?
Is that the best you can figure out, Ashoka? I mean, Amun-Ra?
Uh,
Is that the best you got?
what are you getting at? You accusing me of something?
Darius.
No, I'm just saying. Is that the best you got?
Am I being shown up by somebody? Like in the old days on the basketball courts?
What? Oh my gosh.
Amun-Ra plays basketball?
They would all gang up around me and just throw basketballs at me. And it always scarred me. I went back to mother and told her, Ma, the boys done throwing basketballs at me. And she said, you screw up. And then she slapped me.
Oh my god.
And I said, Mother, one day I will defeat a giant monster. And then there's a giant monster. I'm gonna show you, mother.
Oh my god.
Darius,
All right, do it for mom. Come on.
what should I do? It's like one of those role playing games. It's like turn based or something. That's for all you gaming nerds out there.
Oh gracious.
So when I saw the flicker,
Hmm.
the Tarask flickered or Amon Ra flickered.
A portion of the Tarrasque seemed to flicker like a bad neon sign, and you also realized the Tarrasque hasn't moved.
He's frozen with fear, as he should be in the shadow of Amun Ra. Wait, does the sun have a shadow? Wait a minute.
this
No, the
He just like
sun
looks
casts
off
a
in the
shadow.
distance, like very like confused.
this elderly glowing being just looking so constipated off into the distance.
Darius, use
Yes.
me. I will be the avatar for which you choose to fight. Uh, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Okay. All right. Well, just go back to just step back a second and let's
Okay.
think.
Okay.
So we have a Tarask.
My
And we sure
cataracts are really bad. I can't see very well. Have you noticed any sort of weakness that I could exploit?
no, I haven't. It flickered, but I don't know what that means yet.
It's scared.
It's scared. Okay.
It's still holding still, which seems strange because it is a mountainous, like covered with chitin and leathery skin and spikes creature that's just holding still.
But it's not advancing.
It's not advancing.
Is it really there?
You can, if you want to get closer to it, you can make an investigation check.
I will make an investigation check.
How close do you get to it?
I don't know, maybe half the distance, 50 feet.
50 feet? Okay, that would still be a perception check, but go ahead and give it a shot.
Investigation?
Perception. You're too far away. To investigate something, you have to, like, touch it.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
I shall trap it before it can do any more damage to these trees of mine.
Darius, are you making a perception check?
I'm trying, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not as fast as I used to be.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
22.
You're 22 elven years old. You are a baby.
You're a baby.
You're a baby. Darius,
That's
you look into the trees near the Tarrasque, and the Tarrasque you don't see anything weird about, but you look into the trees near the Tarrasque, and you can see someone's, like, a cloak moving and a hand kind of, like, shaking slightly and held before it disappears again behind the tree.
Okay. Could you say that again?
You
There's
don't
a-
see anything strange about the Tarrasque, but you do see standing relatively near the Tarrasque, roughly 30 feet away from you, someone kind of hiding behind a tree, almost reaching up towards the Tarrasque with a trembling hand, and then they kind of glance around, realize that they've been seen, and duck behind the tree again.
Okay. Can I do arcane magic and see what is going on with that?
You can make an Arcana check to try and see if there's some kind of a spell being cast. I'll call it a DC 15.
Oh,
You are not
missed it by that much.
that much. You're not quite sure. Amun
Damn.
Ra Ashoka, you just turned into a god. Do you want to hit this thing? What do you want to do?
I'll do you one better, Dungeon Master. I will cast Pyramid of Amun Ra around this being, and it cannot escape, I assume, this perimeter of a pyramid if all goes according to plan.
Okay. So the first one, what did you call the first one for me again?
The first attack,
Yeah.
that was the sunblast of the solar blast of the third kingdom.
Solar Blast of the Third Kingdom. And what's this one called?
This one is the Pyramid of Amun Ra.
Pyramid of Amun Ra.
Within this pyramid, I hope, this being will be stuck and set ablaze.
And set ablaze. Okay.
And yes, and it would also have to be forced to listen to rockabilly all day long.
Rockabilly all day long. Okay, I'm going to
Or
say
Limp Biscuit.
Even better.
roll a subsequent straight up and down d6 for me. And then I'm going to
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. So a couple of those things happen. Darius, you watch as this like slamming in from sides like things of see-through light. The four edges of this pyramid come in around the Tarrasque, which still doesn't move other than to it almost looks like it just kind of backs up slowly just a touch. And then it kind of collapses in around it. And you don't see fire within, but you do hear faintly from within. Coming from
I love
within.
your impersonation of rockabilly music.
Listen, I'm working with. You gave me almond. I'm doing what I can, my guy. So,
Doing great.
so you believe the Tarrasque might be trapped, Ashoka. It looks like it's contained within this pyramid space. Darius,
Now,
what would you
I cast Exodia, the Forbidden One.
Unfortunately, you are out of.
Is that because it's copywritten? Be
Yes.
honest.
Yes, it is because it's copywritten. As you say those words, you begin to feel your body almost like it's starting to get ready to shrink. So you'll be able to concentrate on the spell you believe, but you'll only be able to hold this form for so much longer. While you are doing that, Darius, what would you like to do?
I would. Did the pyramid capture the lady that was hiding behind the
It looked.
tree?
The pyramid was centered on the Tarrasque itself. It did not appear to affect. You didn't see anyone else get trapped into the pyramid.
Okay. So I'm going to try to go over behind the tree and see where the lady is, see what she's doing.
Okay, make another perception check. I'll say
I
with
have to get a good one.
I'll say with advantage because you already saw this person once.
All right. I keep saying she, but I don't know if it's a she or a he.
Hmm.
Whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Good job. And so you look over.
Whoops.
It's okay. You look over and you can see a couple of things. You begin to feel those similar tremors to what you were feeling just throughout the city or on the other side of the wilds, getting a little bit closer to where you guys are. And then you look over and you can see hiding just behind a different one of those trees. Someone in a dark cloak, again with their hand kind of reached out, and you can see sweat kind of beating down their face. And they glance over at you, and you can actually see. I don't know if you saw this person. Roll 1d2 for me. On one, you did see them on just on an off chance. Okay. You don't quite recognize them, but you see it actually appears to be a guy with kind of greasy black hair and this kind of dark cloak and intense eyes who looks like he hasn't slept in a little while, who's holding out this pale hand stretched to him, and he kind of sees you looking at him, and he kind of looks at you and looks back at the Trask, looks back at you, looks back at the Trask, looks back at you.
So I message him right away. Cease what you're doing.
Uh,
This is going to help no one. Nobody wins.
uh,
So stop.
make either an intimidation or persuasion check. I will let you pick which.
Damn. They're both the same.
Follow your heart, Darius.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't intimidate him with that one. I don't want to intimidate him. I want to tell him to stop. There's no sense in it.
You have told him to stop. He does not appear to be listening to logical explanations. He kind of sticks his hand out further, almost as if to spite you, and goes, "It doesn't matter. None of it matters. They said we couldn't get it, but look it. Here it is. Here it is. Everything's falling apart anyway. Had to show up. Had to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter." Ashoka, I would like you and Darius to make perception checks once more, please.
Can I get advantage because I am the upholder of Mu'at, which in Egyptian world is order and truth.
I will give you advantage because you're very tall.
Yeah, sweet, I'll take it.
Okay. Darius, you're too distracted by the fact that this man is not being reasonable, and that always gets on your nerves.
Nice.
Lucky
Ashoka,
me. Yes.
you watch, and you can literally just glance over and see this. The council buildings at city center, you watch as in the sky these three figures hover up above city center, above the council buildings, and you watch as like three holes in the sky appear and just water comes rushing out with a torrent of so much force, and you can see glass shattering inwards and immediately hear more of those same screams from before, now set free from the interior of the building with the glass shattered inside, as torrents of water, as if the ocean was being poured through a hole onto all of these people, just kind of and in and in and in with these three figures above, and you hear the screams echoing throughout the city, and you can kind of see different aspects. You watch as a front window is blown out that led from one of the council members' chambers into the city, and is just starting to stream out like a fountain in a garden, but it's full of people, and you know something is going on. Some that registers somewhere in your brain as these three figures just hold these gates open, and as you're watching, you can see also through the gates a smaller figure, something that was in the water, not just the water itself, but some kind of creature that was contained within it, slips through and comes out, goes into the building. You watch as this thing just gets decimated and flooded. What are you doing?
Well,
Did the thing in the water get decimated, or did the building get decimated?
The building is currently in the process of being decimated. A creature, along with all these tons of water flooding into it, was within the water as it came in. So there's also some kind of a big thing in the water also as it's being flooded.
I summon the goddess of the ocean and water to redirect all this water and the beings within it to a place where it is not destructive. Tefnut.
Um.
Make it happen.
Make a religion check for me.
Here we go. Where's it's alphabetical? Here we go. Shabam.
As you call out first, without naming the goddess to the Egyptian goddess, as you're currently imitating Ra, first
I am Ra.
you call out to who you would consider the goddess of the ocean, which, as Ashoka, you feel standing in the wilds and perhaps remembering where you come from and the order that you're part of on some subconscious level. You think of Melora, and you think of Shantea, and a little bit of Tefnut. And you start to try and think, and you realize that, okay,
Don't forget Shakira.
What?
and you realize that
Don't lie.
these beings are not calling on. You realize just from looking at this, these beings are not calling on any kind of god. They're using arcanic or druidic magic to open gates to another plane of existence that is purely made up of water. So this is not a holy thing. This is an act of war.
You want war? I'll give it to you. Let me just think about what I want to do.
Okay. I think we're going to take a little bit of a pause there. Darius, you're still dealing with this man in the forest. Ashoka, you are going to be slowly diminishing as a sun god. And we're going to cut back to Pam and Vincent. Pam, you've rerun the path through the wheat to see Vincent, who is still just kind of sitting by the bombs. Vincent, have you been doing anything in particular while Pam has been away?
I feel like I would have tried to. Well, one of my first thoughts was put on my mask and use it to try to cut people with power that's more magical than just physical.
Yes.
Try to cut a portal with your sword?
No, cut the with something, because when I'm using my mask, my sword has like other, what's the word?
Other damages.
Yeah, than just physical.
Okay, so you've activated your mask to try and do this.
Yes, but I also don't know how that works out of combat.
Okay.
Because I don't think we've just.
Okay. If you're activating your mask out of combat, allow me to look at this real quick. Activating your mask out of combat. Okay, I'd like you to. What makes sense? I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay.
You got this.
I don't think I do, but.
Wait, a saving throw?
Yes,
How close am I to you?
And this is while you're still talking with Wanda. I asked what he was doing while you were away.
Okay.
Oh no.
Help me, Wanda. Help me, Wanda.
So you put on the mask just thinking anything that it'll take to try and cut through this sword. And you feel just this kind of urge to like... Who says that... Why would you want to break this circle when you can use it? When you can use it to come back to this land and kind of claim it for yourself? When you can be using the power of this mask for so much more. There has to be...
Wait. Don't I usually get to use strength check?
Well, yeah, but this is out of combat. You're not using your strength.
Aw,
That
come
doesn't
on.
Makes sense. Okay.
But the thing is, this mask can still only see what you see, and it still just sees like a bunch of wheat. So, if anything, the mask is more or less... It's resisting you because it wants to resist you, because that is how the mask behaves. But it also isn't... It's kind of like... You can still take a swing at the ground, but it isn't going to like permit the extra damage to be done. It's not going to like...
Right.
Yeah.
I think once I start feeling that, I just take it back off.
Okay, make me another wisdom save to try and take it off. I'm going to roll to counter this directly, so I'll just roll straight up down 1d20. Oh!
Ooh.
Okay. So here's what happens. You go to take your mask off, and as you're going to, your hand, you accidentally kind of feel like your hand pushing it further into your face, and it feels kind of hard to breathe for a moment, and then this kind of voice whispers in your head for just a bare second. Don't you remember what you are?
No.
And then something like bright flashes before your eyes, and then you've ripped the mask off of your face and put it back around your head.
Oh no.
Mufasa?
Wait. Evil Mufasa.
Scar?
And then I probably just try to attack it with everything that I've got.
Okay,
Aw.
make me like 5 successive strength checks or attacks if you want to try to use your sword.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
we still have the poison sword. I want to try to use that.
Okay.
Ooh.
The
I
poison
also
sword.
don't know what the roll for that is though.
Okay. Long sword. I mean, it's still a sword.
I'm gonna
Okay.
Use a long sword in the dirt.
Yes.
You
Has
feel
anyone ever accused Vincent? I don't think so.
Okay. So you did get a natural 20. Um. Okay. So you're cutting and it's starting to feel more just frustrating. You've like collected a lot of this wheat-like plant off to the side, and you're starting to think of maybe I'll just harvest this. And then you start to realize, well, wait. Even if I can't dig up this pattern, maybe if I can make deep enough cuts of my own or draw different things in it, I can interrupt it. Basically, if you add another patterned cutting to this circle, you think that may be enough. So
Okay.
you start to like add extra spokes to the edges of whatever arcane wheel that was drawn, and just kind of like I think you start to put your artist brain into it along with your along with your sword, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna make this look cool, and then maybe it won't be a magic sword. And then by the time you're
Yes.
done, Pam, as you get back, he lifts his sword up, and you look down, and there's like an engraving of a lion where you can still see the the teleportation circle in the middle of it, but he definitely just like cut a lion face into the ground.
Vincent?
Okay, I was trying to destroy the circle.
But there's a lion now.
Yeah, I know.
That's epic!
Woo! Okay, how do we get rid of this?
Is there any particular reason you drew a lion?
um, I don't know.
I'm sorry, what? You cut out.
I thought it would be.
Can I make an insight check?
Is it not?
Yeah, make an insight check. You can make a deception check or just a charisma check to kind of contest it, Vincent, if you like.
Thought it was cool. It's just kind of random. I mean, you have.
I wear a lion mask around all the time.
Yeah, but what's up
I
with the
literally
mask?
asked for a lion pocket watch.
What's up with the mask anyway? I'd like squint. What's going on with that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I think you know just about as much as I. Anything that Oliver told us, anything that I established when we made our characters.
I mean, you guys always had those secret sessions where you guys just talked about, backstory.
Flashback.
Yeah, that was part of that.
I look into the sky and pretend that I'm. And I'm like, I don't remember what she's talking about.
Anyway, I mean,
do you actually want to flashback?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. We can if you want. I made Almond Ra happen. We can flashback.
All right, sure, let's do it.
If you want. Roll like a D4 for me to see how old a teenager you are.
Aw.
I'm 4 years old.
You're 14.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys are sitting at a table of the comic book shop where Oliver would later work, in one of the back corners, hunched over his notebook, the first of his like set of DM notebooks that he has kept, and your character sheet, which has already been through like a few revisions because you've leveled up Vincent a few times.
Okay.
Okay, so like, I know that you said that you were cool with me having some secret stuff about your backstory, right? Just because I promise it's cool. I promise it's so cool.
Okay.
And so the mask, you talked to me about how you found the mask before, right? It was a really good idea. It was after you were
Yeah.
in the mine, right?
Yeah. In the mines when Vincent was younger.
Mhm.
Kind of exploded,
Mhm.
but not like literally.
Mhm. And that was before Ramu found him, right? And then Ramu found him because he was
Yes.
the mask.
Because of the mask.
Because of the mask. And then he like starts scribbling all this down kind of frantically
Mm.
and it's like, and I think that when Vincent woke up, he just had the mask and didn't realize what he'd done, did he? Or he kind of like he left, so he kind of did, but also for a kid that like, and he puts his pencil down and kind of scratches behind his ear and adjusts his glasses. He does his voice still had glasses when he was younger. Because like even if he's a good guy or like a Batman kind of guy, right?
Uh-huh.
If he's a powerless kid, even if this mask like made him do bad things, I mean you know this. We get picked. You want some kind of like something to make you feel strong, right?
What do you mean?
Like if you had this mask in real life, you'd have, even if it wasn't perfect, if it gave you like power to make sure like, you know, to make sure that the other teachers were like cool and to make sure that people weren't like mean to Poncho, you'd want to keep it, right? Because who else are you going to
Yeah.
trust with that power?
Definitely not Poncho.
So maybe, or V. Don't tell her I said that. Or
Definitely not
Are
B.
you guys almost done? Are you almost done in there?
we
Are you
are
guys
literally.
almost done? Are you done yet?
Just a second, just a second, just a second.
Oliver, what do we do?
It's okay, it's
Whatever.
okay, it's okay.
Whatever.
What are you guys talking about?
What is happening? Oliver, who is this man?
Victor tries to look over Oliver's shoulder and Oliver slams his book closed. You get secret stuff, he gets secret stuff, it's fine. It's fair, don't worry about it, okay?
How did you even get down here?
Don't worry about it, kid.
What the?
Why is your voice so deep?
Victor, just because your voice dropped first doesn't mean you gotta be a jerk. Just go wait for us in the car, we'll be out in a minute.
Sure thing.
I don't know why he's always like this.
I just scowl at him and like,
Anyway, the only thing is right is that the coolest thing with Vincent is you'll get to make the choice then whether he takes his power and sees it can be bad, and if he's good enough to make it good, or if he thinks that maybe the bad thing is good. So that'll be what your adventures pull out of you. And he like does this little like squirrely putting his fingertips together thing where he's like trying to be a like he's trying to plot out some kind of villainous dungeon master plot.
I'm like, awesome. And I just like look at him with glowing.
Yeah. And then flashback ends and you're standing next to a carving of a lion face that you've put in the ground. After
Vincent,
Yeah.
you just glanced away into the distance for like 5 minutes straight. What's going on?
Definitely
I don't understand anything of what's happening.
I do not remember what you're talking about.
It
Anyway.
literally just happened. I can't explain it to you differently.
Yeah, but the whole like secret whatever secret sessions that didn't happen.
I'm sorry. What did you say? Can you say that again?
The secret sessions. I don't remember this. I don't know what you're talking.
I remember very clear, but whatever.
Listen, the point is, we need to find a way to get back. I mean, the bombs are in a secure place now, right?
Okay, speaking of that, I met this cool lady. Her name's Wanda. Call her Wanda. It makes her feel good. We have to take the bombs, and we're gonna go kill her with them.
Did she do something bad?
No, she wants this. Let's
She
go.
wants us to blow her up with.
I start like crab walking towards the bombs. Yup, let's go. Everything's fine. Do 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 do. None of this is real. Do 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 do.
I step on her chest while she's crab walking. We can't, not like hard, just enough to put her not into crab walking mode anymore.
I
And I'm like,
understand.
we can't just kill a random old lady that you just met with
No, she
high
wants.
explosives.
Okay, let me explain. She's an Elder Oracle. The next Elder Oracle is going to be Iris, so she has to die. So Iris can be the Elder Oracle and possibly lose memory of her name. But anyway,
What is
let's
that?
go.
What is an elder oracle?
Let's go.
Okay. I'm not gonna go with you until you tell.
I mean, what else does an oracle do? An oracle knows stuff, and they predict stuff, and they tell stuff about the future, and that stuff comes true. That's what an oracle is, and that's what Iris is going to become.
Okay, but like, who cares? We're not just gonna kill some old lady for no reason.
Listen, I'm not going to question it. She says that her time is coming up, and she knows that it's coming up, and it's supposed to be here. Everything was supposed to be here, including these bombs, and this is how she wants to go. With a bang. Literally.
I know in this world you pray to some weird gods who turn like your necklace around or something, but we're not gonna kill some random old lady
What does
because it
that
was
have to do with
fated
anything?
to, and I put quotes around.
Fated to die.
Huh? What'd you say?
Sorry, he cut out for a second. I was finishing.
Oh, I
a sentence.
put faded in quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, this is how she wants to go, okay? We can let the bombs go off, but she wants to see them, and this is how she wants it. So this is how we're doing it.
Okay, why doesn't she just come over here? We're risking our lives so an old lady can kill herself?
Listen, I want to give her the ending that she wants, okay? So instead of
Then
making
she could just come over here.
her walk all the way over here, she's an old elder oracle, okay? We're not gonna make this old woman come over here, okay?
Okay, are we gonna wait and watch
But you'll
her
blow her
explode
up.
too?
Wait, what'd you say?
But you'll blow her up.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not here.
Are we just gonna wait here and watch her explode too?
I don't know. She's gonna go over the cliff or something.
No, the answer is no, because then we'll die too. We're not gonna sit here
No.
and watch explode. Just like we're
No,
not
she's
gonna
gonna go
roll
over
the
the
bombs
cliff.
all the way over there.
Gonna roll over, not roll over. She's gonna go over the cliff. Okay, it's gonna work out.
There's a cliff now.
Yes. There's dark waters below. You'll see once they're over there. Let's go. Bring the bombs.
This seems like a bad.
Can I try to lift one of the bombs?
Make a strength check. DC 18.
Oh no. Wow.
No, you cannot lift one of the bombs.
Okay, here we go. Okay. It's not gonna. I need your help with this.
How about we bring the old lady over here?
But the cliffs are over there. The dark
Why did
waters
you-
are over there.
Did she say that the cliffs were absolutely necessary?
She told
Yeah.
me to bring the cliffs in you. I think she called you a buff boy or something like that.
A buff boy?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what she said. She says, bring the buff boy and the bombs to me so I can go over the cliff's edge and meet my end. I'm paraphrasing, but
Pam,
you are,
we don't
you are
have
in
time.
fact, no. You are in fact the only buff boy here,
We
correct?
Do
Isn't
not
there, in fact, the
have
only
time
buff
for
here, correct?
this. Pam, I grab onto her shoulders and I'm like, Pam, we don't have time for this.
Then let's go. Bring the bombs. You can lift the bombs.
No, we don't have time to lift the bombs over there. We need to get out of here.
There's no way else to go. The bombs have to go over the cliff.
There's all the other ways else to go. You haven't.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Wait, you cut out. I'm sorry.
Okay, we have plenty other places. You went one direction and followed Jock.
She's the only person here, and this is where we're supposed to be. This is how it was supposed to happen. Okay?
Do we know that she's the only person here? In fact, we should find out if there's other people here because they might be in danger too.
We don't have time to argue. Let's just do this one plan, okay? This is what we're supposed to do. She's the Elder Oracle, and I trust her. Her name is Wanda, and she's very nice. Let's go meet her. Come on.
Okay, I start pushing one of them.
Okay. Make a quick strength check for me since you're pushing and not lifting. It'll be.
Can I push? Try pushing too.
Okay, try to push. Give me another strength check.
What do I have to be? Oh my god.
Okay, it's a 10 to push it. So Vincent, you're able to start pushing one. Pam, you're still struggling. You can try to get Jacques to help you if you think he can get a 4 to add to that.
Come on, Jacques.
Come on, Jack. Come on, buddy. Come on, Jack.
Can't you just summon more griffins?
Come on. I mean, I could maybe actually.
Well, then why don't we do that? Then
Okay.
she can have an even cooler death. Riding a griffin, exploding into a.
Okay. First of all, we are not gonna risk my griffin's life. Okay. So back up. Step off right now.
Don't you just summon? Are they like actual griffins? I thought they were like ethereal or something.
What?
Like ghost griffins? Are
Yeah,
they
Ghost
not?
Griffin. He's in that latest movie.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's cast Find Steed then.
All right. Do you bring the same griffin?
I don't think I can. I don't think that's Greater Steed.
Okay. Make an either a
But could I for instance just summon a smaller griffin?
You can summon you summon a smaller version of the same griffin, so it has the same voice. Dad, you are the
Yes.
griffin again. I forget what you named the griffin. What was the griffin? It was Griffin the Griffin. Perfect.
Yeah.
Dad, you are once again
Gribbin?
Griffin the Griffin.
Was it Gribbin?
Yes, my lady.
Griffin, you're back.
Yes, my lady.
But
What's
you're
your
smaller.
wish?
Okay.
I lost a little weight.
But I'm hoping you're just as strong. So
Quick
can you help me?
question. Are there a Justin and Travis Griffin as well?
We're not sure yet. Natalie hasn't requested them.
All right.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Okay, Griffin, can you hold both of these bombs in your talons and then bring them to Wanda?
I'm going to say that with the size of the smaller griffin, he can hold one of the bombs, but not both of them.
Okay, so Griffin, you hold the bomb, and then Vincent, you push the other. Plan. Let's go. I start crab walking towards Wanda.
Hold on. I grab onto her leg and I'm like, "You're helping me push."
Okay. Together we meet the. Yes.
Okay.
We can actually lift it. Maybe we can lift it together. Right.
Okay. Roll.
Can we try to lift it?
Roll 2 fresh strength checks for me.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
But it's perfectly 18.
Can I use athletics?
I will say you can use athletics. You can try to deadlift like this egg bomb.
Oh god. All right.
I'll crowd.
So Pam, you roll it slightly, and then Vincent uses the roll that you did, and just and you're carrying it above your head as you
I'm crab walking underneath it.
Okay.
No, I want to see him. He's carrying it between his legs and he's waddling all the way over there.
Okay.
I got this. I got this.
And I am sitting on his shoulders. Yes.
Okay. You make your way back to Wanda, who is waiting at the edge of the cliff with her arms crossed, kind of facing you. She goes, "See? I knew you were strong. Don't even know how you do that with legs. That's wild."
I'm pretty sure my legs aren't even that.
Yes, I'm sure that will be very sore in the morning.
Oh god.
Hello there, young man. Come down here. Put that down.
I put the egg down next to her.
All right, Griffin, go ahead and drop it here.
Thud.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my lady.
Okay. Wanda kind of looks at one of the bombs and kind of rubs a little bit of her cloak across and kind of looks at her reflection and a little bit of the shine and goes, huh, weird. New technology only when I die, huh? But not for the. Okay, not for the cooking. Okay, yeah?
Maybe there will be new cooking things wherever you end up next.
Maybe. No, hold on. You come here. She gestures to you, Vincent.
What?
Come here. Bend down. I'm small. Come here.
I do it.
She reaches up and kind of grabs your face and like tilts your chin side to side and kind of squishes your cheeks and inspects you a little bit, like tilts your chin back, looks at your neck, kind of opens your mouth and looks at your teeth for a second, and then closes it, puts her hands down and goes, huh, really something. She pats your cheek. You'll be a good boy now, right?
I'll try my best.
See that you do. You have got some. Whew, whew. Thank you for carrying this.
Yeah. So we brought them over here to blow you up?
Why did you have to say it like that? That's not what I implied at all.
I mean, that is exactly what.
Don't be ridiculous. Do you have rope? Of course you have rope. I know you have rope. She starts to go through your bag
Okay.
and gets out the little bit of rope that you have. You too. 50 feet of hemming rope is not enough for this. And she gets some of your rope out as well, Pam. Okay.
Oh, since when do I have rope?
Do you have a Dungeoneer's pack?
I do not.
What pack do you have? I think
I have a
most
whip.
have rope.
I have a whip.
Mm.
I have con tools. Con tools.
Con tools. Okay. She takes the rope that you guys do have and she holds it out to you and she goes, okay, tie him to me.
Oh, okay.
Around my waist.
I do so.
Okay.
This guy's the knot master.
The master of knot.
Exactly.
Okay, sweetie. Now just take it around that one there. She guides you through tying her like waist in the middle and then tying the rest of the rope as snugly as possible around the diameter of the center part of the two bombs, around kind of the egg, as tight as it can go.
While I'm doing this, I'm just like, I'm gonna have to buy a new rope, aren't I?
Yes, you are gonna have to buy new rope or find some. You might find some convenient thing. And oh yeah, you. She looks at you again. Don't forget all the blessings you have. All right, they'll be very important, very useful to you. But you may not always be able to see them. But remember that they're there, and everything will look a little bit brighter.
I just kind of look over at Pam and I'm like, what is she talking?
Go with it.
Has anybody asked her why she feels the need to blow herself up?
She wants to be human. I get it.
Okay.
By the way, does this wheat or whatever this is have any special problems? I have like a ton of it. I just start pulling it out of the bag, like.
Well, you can make it into a fine, tasteless paste if you so choose. Your friend Pam has already sampled some of that.
It's awful.
It is awful. It tastes bad. If you do eat enough of it, it does allow you to. Well, it'll let you see some interesting things. How about we put it that way? All right.
Is this drugs?
And you'd be surprised
drugs.
how much things people would say are drugs if you. It's okay. So, am I tighten here? She kind of like twists a little, and you watch the ropes kind of dig into her skin beneath the robes a little bit. Okay, good. Now, she kind of looks over. Now, I don't have a sundial or like a timepiece, since, well, ages. But I think it's pretty soon, about now. So, you two. Two things. Pam,
Yes?
keep
Wait, no, that's not the name I gave you.
Poncho, my dear. I'm so sorry. What did I had a, oh shoot, what was it? I told you, I just got it again. Then I forgot, what was my,
Wanda.
thank you. I'm so bad at that. Okay. See, I
Wait.
told you, very rude of me. Hello?
Never mind.
You were saying something.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Poncho, my dear. You keep
Yes,
the
Wanda.
cups.
Okay.
They're important. I don't know why they are, but I know they are. Maybe they were mine before I was what I am. Maybe it's selfish. I don't know. Keep the cups.
Okay.
And then it's going to get very bright for a couple minutes. You already had some of my mush, so that's good. You go ahead, start chewing on one of those little plants that we got here. Okay?
Like a real Tom Sawyer.
Whoever that is.
Don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
I start chewing it.
Good boy.
Tom Sawyer.
And she kind of cocks her head at you, Pam, and kind of blinks. And you watch as like her irises start to have a little bit more color to them, and she like, what are you? And you watch as a little bit of like blood comes out from her nose, and she's like, oh, okay, starting. All right, well, I'm gonna need both of you to just give these a push,
Okay.
and then I will be on my way, and you will be on yours, I dare say.
I just kind of like sit on my knees beside her, and I kind of just grab her hand. Are you choking on wheat?
What?
Nothing. Never mind.
Are you sure about this one?
Very sure, my boy. I've grown past the point of trying to defy things that I know to be true.
We barely even got to talk to you, though.
Yeah, but that's alright. Doesn't mean the time that we did talk was less. Maybe it's even more.
Thanks.
All right. I Sparta kick her into the pit. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'll push the.
I hate you.
What?
Wanda kind of smiles at both of you and then she holds each of your hands and goes, "Now you two try to stick together. I know that you were gonna do it anyways, but it may not always be easy. And I know you're gonna fight. And I know some things may not be as they seem, but no matter what else you think your destinies may be, or people will tell you that they are, your destiny is made by your choices. Ain't that right, Poncho?"
Yeah, you're right.
So, just do the best you can with what you got. Alright? Now, give an old woman a gosh dang glow up. How do I know those terms? She like wipes the blood by her nose again. It feels wrong, but I'm dying anyway. I might as well. The last thing. And she kind of blinks, and Pam, you can see that as opposed to, well, you can see this too, Vincent. Her eyes are starting to like get their color back a little bit. And you can see that they're this like really deep brown that's kind of like lit from behind. Like she must have been a really, warm person in another life. She kind of pats both your hands and kind of pats
Wait.
the bombs that are.
I want to try to draw her.
Aww.
Well, that's very sweet and strange of you. Go on. I don't know if I ever had someone take my portrait. Hold on, how's my hair? She like fluffs the bushy gray stuff that is her hair. Go ahead and make a dexterity check with proficiency for me.
What does it mean if it's with proficiency?
You get your proficiency bonus, so you use your dexterity modifier and your proficiency modifier added together. So I think it would be like
Sick.
plus 6 for you, yeah. So a d20 plus 6.
Oh.
Wow.
Alright.
Okay.
You kind of try to
Can I give him advantage?
how so?
I'm like, no, it's more like that. Yeah, no, you gotta draw it. You gotta draw it like this. No, it's
If
more
you
like that.
get a 10 on perception, yes, you can give him advantage.
Okay.
It's currently a stick figure with long hair.
Okay, go ahead and take advantage.
Thank you,
Wow.
Pam.
What do you, it's not. She's no. Her hair is way more luscious than that. What does the matter?
What do you mean? It looks just like her.
It's stick figure.
Okay. So you you kind of start to show her the first one, and she's like, "Oh, that's fine, honey." And then Pam's like, "No, just do this." And after a little bit, you get a very nice a very nice, almost kind of charcoal portrait of Wanda, and instead of the ropes around her being tied to bombs, you kind of put it as like light shining from behind her, and like she's got a belt on, and looks kind of cool. And you give her these nice warm eyes, and you show it to her. And oh, that's so sweet. You're a sweet one.
I look down at it, and then I look back up at her, and then I rip the page out, and I hand it to her.
She looks at it for a second, and then kind of smiles. This is very sweet, honey, but I don't think I'll need this where I'm going. Besides, the more I look at it, the less it looks like me. She kind of pushes it back over to you. And then you, as she does, you realize that you kind of tilt it in the light. And almost without you doing any extra magic on it or touching it, almost like a holographic, not holographic, one of those images where you tilt it one way and it looks one way, and you tilt the other way, it looks the other way.
Yeah.
When you tilt it back towards yourself, you see Iris. As you tilt it away, you see Wanda.
I'm just like, sweet really does make you see things.
I told you. Now, come on, honey. You gotta push these off the cliff because I'm pretty sure you're running out of time. I don't know quite what these are attached to, but something's going down somewhere, and you gotta be there instead of here. So, come on.
I push the egg as hard as I can.
Both of you guys give me strength checks again.
Can I use athletics, or does it have to be
You can use
strength?
that.
If you're gonna help.
Athletics.
Okay.
Griffin, you want to give me some help?
Sure. You want to launch the lady into the gorge?
The bomb, not the lady.
I mean, she's
I
gonna
guess,
go
yeah.
into the gorge too, but
Okay, here we go.
So, am I rolling strength?
Roll strength and then add an extra plus. How strong is a griffin? It's pretty strong. He lifted a bomb. Add an extra +5 to the roll.
Okay. All right. Well.
10 is what you needed to just push it. So
Yay.
Vincent is being extra, but you kind of gently roll
really
it.
kicked it.
I Sparta kick it off the cliff.
You Sparta kick it off the cliff as Pam rolls it, and you guys watch as this little gnomish woman just gets yanked off the side, and kind of you scramble to the cliff's edge and look down after her over, and you watch as she kind of bunches up her fingers to wave goodbye, and then spreads out her arms almost like instead of bombs pulling her to the sea, it's like wings, and then she just kind of beneath the cloud cover, and then you're kind of breathing in the silence there a moment after, and then
I'm like, we should probably run.
Both of you make Constitution saving throws.
Dang it.
Okay. Wait, what about my griffin?
Your griffin is
With
It's fine.
+5, right?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Can I try to pull Pam back before it explodes?
Yes, I'll say that part of your guys' Constitution save is Vincent. You kind of yank her back. The griffin is also kind of pulling you two back with his talons. You're back far enough away. You weren't gonna get any damage, but you pulled each other away fast enough that you didn't lose your ears. And the bright flash of light that comes off from the explosion kind of rattles the ground beneath you, and then washes the clouds above you in this kind of bright white light for a moment. It's hard to see, but you still kind of scramble back and away and away and away and away. Both of you make perception checks for me. Not a disadvantage because you successfully didn't get blinded or deafened.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Pam.
Not bad.
Vincent, you're just focusing on making sure that Pam isn't immediately dead. Pam, you're realizing that the ground, kind of in the first 15 to 20 feet of where the cliff's edge is starting to kind of shift and push down. So you make sure to pull you and Vincent back as the cliff and mountainside is permanently changed.
Can we just hop on top of Griffin?
How Fine Steed is still about the size of a horse. So yeah, Griffin hoists both of you and kind of floats you up.
Where to, me lady?
I'm not sure yet.
And as the cliff face falls away, you watch as a new one is constructed. And instead of the cliff that was there before, which was kind of like a cliff that came to a gentle point, that was leaning out over water, now it's kind of a flat face of the cliff that is pushed in and then juts back out and then curves at an angle back down into the water. Both of you make perception checks for me once more, pretty please, to understand this new topography of this place.
Also, we keep losing Darius in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Where to, me lady?
Pam,
Can you hear?
can you hear us, Darius? Griffin?
Griffin?
Oh boy.
Griffin!
Pam looking
Did
down.
I stop concentrating? It's a concentration spell, right?
Because you successfully made your
Oh, sorry.
Constitution saving throw, you're fine. Looking down at the cliff face now, you can see that part of the section that was kind of blown in, there is a natural cavernous opening going into part of the mountainside, and it looks as though it's partially lit from within.
Down there?
Are you asking?
Or look up at... I look... I assume that I'm in front of Vincent on Griffin, so I kind of look back. Down there?
It's as good a place as any.
All right. So I kind of just nudge Griffin downward.
Okay. You guys find yourself.
Wait, where's Jacques?
Jacques, roll 1d2 for me.
Oh gosh, no! Don't make me do this.
Jacques
Don't.
climbed back into the back of your poncho in the midst
good.
of loud voices.
Woo!
He is currently drooling onto the back of your poncho and looking at Harrison with cross eyes. With 5 cross eyes. And, so you guys go down there and kind of look into the cavern that is now emerged. It's not like a perfect cavern, but it does look like someone at some point carved something into this rock that eventually was just hidden by more and more salt deposits or sediment building up on the outer layers. And there are just looking in, you can see faint bits of light along the walls, lit torches, which is strange to exist inside of a mountain. But I mean, you still don't know where you are, so you don't know why this would or wouldn't be strange. With this revelation, I think we're going to cut back briefly to Ashoka and Darius. Everything's going to pieces.
Wait, do we have Darius back?
Darius?
Darius.
Yes,
Can you
yes,
hear
I'm
us?
Can you
here.
hear?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, we're cutting back to Darius and Ashoka. Now to repeat. Everything's going to pieces!
What?
Everything's going to pieces.
Oh, I thought you said Iris is going to pieces.
Oh,
Iris
God.
does not look happy. So that's also a fair assessment. She's looking at city center and then, well, you're not near her right now. You were investigating this man in the forest. Speaking of which, um, you watch again as part of the Tarask image flickers out as his attention is drawn by the sudden screams and deluge of water from over in city center, which also partially draws your attention. And then moments later, the image is back again, and you can see a whole Tarask. And for a moment, you have to be like, was it just a trick of the no, something's going on. You're not sure quite what, but something is going on. What would you like to do, you and Ashoka?
Okay, Shoka going first.
Uh, Darius, I I feel weak. I feel my power fading. There's only one thing to do now.
What's that?
I had a dream, and in that dream, I had a solution. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's hope that the dungeon master is a nice person and lets this happen. I cast Restoration of Isis. Again, I want to reiterate, and I've said this before, I don't mean Isis, the bad people. I mean the goddess whose name is Isis. As she has restored her dead husband to life, she shall restore my power to its fullest. I really hope so.
Oh,
To where I'm
gracious.
not an old man anymore as well.
Here's the thing. Okay, make a wisdom check for me, Ashoka.
Everybody's ready to watch this happen, right?
Of
We're all
course.
counting on you, Dungeon Master.
Okay, gosh, mother, dang it. Okay. After saying this, you watch as the points of connection between Ashoka and the earth, between Ashoka and the wilds, as you have seen him do before as a thing he is able to do. You watch as Ashoka, energy flows from the wilds back into Ashoka, even as his form shrinks back into that of a half-orc monk of not old age. Um, he is returned unto himself, and you watch as life energy flows from the wilds into Ashoka, leaving behind cracked and broken earth and some ashy residue for about 15-foot diameter around him to bring him down from this large of a change. But he is restored to his young, well-thinking self.
Dang it, that's not what I wanted. I was still a giant god before. Now I'm just this orc. I thought I'd return to a powerful young god. Now I'm just me.
What would you like to do, regular Ashoka?
Um, I would like to I tap out. Darius, your turn.
Ashoka,
Okay.
make a perception check for me. Darius, you continue.
Okay. So I'm thinking about something like cease magic or
Is is the thing still trapped in my pyramid?
Um, you still see a glowing pyramid around it. You now, as a well-thinking Ashoka, do not know how or why that worked.
Okay.
You do see the similar flicker to what Darius sees. You also look around and realize that you no longer see Iris.
Who? I
Oh my god.
think.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Why doesn't he see Iris?
You are in the woods dealing with a different man and yelling across at Ashoka. You do not see this. What are you doing?
Why does he not see Iris? Why don't we any of us see Iris?
You are looking at a man who may or may not be controlling a Tarask or creating a Tarask or projecting a Tarask. That is what you see. You're in the forest. You are nigh 50 to 100 feet away from where Ashoka is now that he has shrunken down to his usual self. What are you doing with the information you currently have?
If I forget what protection from evil and good does.
It gives people disadvantage on attacking you when they are certain kinds of creatures.
Oh, I want to do dispel magic.
No, you're gonna dispel my pyramid.
Oh no.
Who or what are you casting dispel magic at?
The guy that's controlling the Tarask.
Okay. Can you go ahead and double check with me? Dispel magic. Let me double check. I'm thinking of counterspell rules. 3rd level or lower, a target ends. You watch as the front left portion of the Tarask, the front left leg, under bit of the neck and chin, down to the top part of its ribs, disappears from existence, and his hand is pushed down towards his body. And now, Ashoka, you're left staring at a Tarask with some Legos missing. And
Oh, no.
Darius, you see this this man in the dark cloak look over you and go, and then immediately start to try and sprint to run away.
Does Ashoka see this person running away?
What was your last perception check? Yeah, you got a 17 as your last perception check. I'll say that you hear sudden rustling in accompaniment with seeing the Lego bricks, for lack of a better term, disappear from the Tarask. You hear rustling in the trees as this man starts to run away.
And I follow.
Fast. You are a monk and you're fast. Go ahead and make an athletics
So
check for me. Yeah?
A what?
Athletics,
Does
please.
Okay.
So does the Tarask tumble and fall and crash down to nothing?
It doesn't tumble and fall. It just is less of a Tarask. Like pixels have gone out of a TV.
So if I use that as a 4th level, I automatically end the effects of the spell on the target if the spell's level is equal to or less than the level the spell's slot to you.
Yes. This tells you that the spell he was using is less than 4th level. I will say, you being Darius, know that there's no way a spell lower than 4th level would be able to actually control a Tarask. So it's something else. Ashoka, you've started to follow him, but he has been making his way through this forest and has literally cleared a path through the trees, and you're sort of trying to catch up with him.
I throw darts.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an attack with one of your darts.
What?
You actually have darts. Did you not know that?
No, I do.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack with one of your darts.
Okay.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, tell me how to do that again, just for the audience.
For the audience, it should be listed somewhere next to your weapon on your character sheet. If you don't see it, let me know. It's 1d4.
Oh, do I
piercing
just click it?
Yeah, you should be able to just click it.
Oh, that's so easy.
That is okay. The one above that.
Can I just use that one instead?
No. Okay. Hold on. What is happening? You should be able to just roll. Okay. I will. I will roll your damage for you. It's 1d4.
Oh, come on. That's. Oh, what? 2 versus 24.
So you do 2 piercing damage. So a dart lands in him and goes, ah, and keeps trying to run away. I'm gonna have to make him make a new athletics check to continue to do so. You go ahead and make a new one as well to see if you're able to catch up to him. He got a 20.
I dart myself.
You get one like in your hand and you're like, I know it shouldn't hurt, but ah. He's still in your line of
Now my
sight.
day's just ruined.
You're quickly getting away. Darius,
Aw.
after this first man ran away, there's like a beat or two of silence, and then slowly another third of the Tarask flickers out, and then the last third you see is like just the hindquarters and weird tail, and you're like, what? Darius, if you're not chasing after the other guy actively, make another perception check for me.
All right.
Ashoka, are you continuing your pursuit or are you stopping?
I'm still chasing.
Okay. All right. You watch as a separate person starts to dart off in the opposite direction of where the first guy darted. The other guy was like going further back into the wilds this way. This other person is darting just like that way. A person with
Okay.
like a shock of light hair and another dark cloak.
Thaumaturgy.
Okay. What do you say or do?
So I'm going to yell in a loud voice. I'm going to say, all right, guys, there they are. Get them.
All right. Roll either deception or intimidation with advantage because you use thaumaturgy. Also, Ashoka, so you're still giving chase. He's still a decent amount ahead of you. Are you going to throw any more darts, or are you... What are you doing? Okay.
Yes, I do throw more darts.
Okay, go ahead and make another dart roll for me. Darius, you watch as this shocked blonde head just kind of stops. They were running. Okay, that does not hit, unfortunately,
No.
Ashoka. As the round passes, since you took an attack action and did not hit him, he's going to use his movement to double dash. What is your full movement is still a lot though. I think his would be 30, double dash would be 60 feet, and yours is still like 50 at a high level monk. So you're still just a little bit behind him, but you could have closed the distance if that had hit. Darius, you watch as the blonde-headed person in a dark cloak kind of holds up their hands and stops maybe 40 feet away from you in the direction indicated. And then finally, as you do that and call that out, the last third of the Trask illusion falls away. And you see someone else come out of the woods and just kind of stand there with their hands up near a tree. Someone much smaller, also in a dark cloak. Ashoka, are you still chasing? Darius, what do you do? Both of you tell me.
I'm chasing faux show.
Okay. Chase, any more darts or purely catching up to him?
No, I'm not going to do more darts. Just kidding, dart.
Okay, go ahead. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll a d4 for your damage.
And I cast thaumaturgy again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys, round them up.
Okay. Both figures kind of, the other person stopped about here. Stand still, waiting to be rounded up by said boys, but do not make any move to become closer on their own. Do you move closer to either of them? You are roughly, I'd say, like, here. Ashoka, the one point, they like, again, he cries out, and then I'm gonna have him make an athletics check with disadvantage, because 2 darts is gross. Let's see. So he's with disadvantage. You go ahead and make it again, just regular. You gotta beat a 10 to catch up with him, and like tackle him. Ha! So with that last dart, you slow him down, distract him enough that within the same turn you're able to and tackle him to the ground.
Nice.
So now you're laying on top of a man in a dark cloak who's somewhat sweaty with very stinky, greasy, bad hair. And Darius, you are moving closer to the smaller hooded figure, while the one further away still awaits. While the blonde one further away still waits for whatever boys are coming to round them up. What would you like to do?
So Remus, can you grab that guy? I got this one over here.
Remus gives you a salute and jogs off to go get the other guy. And as he's jogging, he looks over his shoulder at you. I think we need to get to city center or get people out of city center. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to do it fast. And he continues on his path to get to the other person.
Agree. So,
Ashoka, are you going to restrain the guy and bring him back to Darius? What are you going to do?
I'm sitting on top of him,
Mm-hmm.
and I start to question him.
What do you want?
Where is she?
What? Who?
Where's Bill?
Who's,
Wait, what?
Who's Bill? What are you talking about?
You don't want to meet Bill. If you don't tell me what I want to know, then I'll introduce you to my two friends, Payne and
Suffering.
Jared.
Okay.
Jared's a really bad guy.
What do you want to know?
Who are you? What were you doing with the Tarask?
He just starts to kind of jerk under you, but you've got too much half work, just stature for him to get away. And you clamp his arms to the ground.
You know what? I just kind of while still holding him down, I just kind of turn his head. I'm like, I'm gonna bite your ear off. Are you ready?
What?
What?
No, don't.
I'm gonna do it.
That's
Okay, 5,
so
4,
gross.
3,
Okay,
2.
okay. I'm Rio. That's my name.
Okay. I feel like I'm supposed to know that. I feel like if there's another character here, they'd be like,
Oh my god.
that doesn't answer my question. What were you doing with the Tarask? Why haven't you bathed?
I haven't bathed because I've been a prisoner in a cage on a tree for a few days.
That's no excuse. You smell, and why do you have the power to just what? Okay, first of all, was that Tarask even real?
You believed it was real, didn't you?
Please don't just breathe out like that. You haven't brushed your teeth either.
I can't help it.
You know I'm gonna bite your ear off anyway. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Fine, it'll look cool. It's part of the game. Give it to me after.
Tell
I'll
me.
put it on a necklace.
I'll probably swallow it honestly, but okay.
Then I'll be
Let's.
part of you.
Oh,
Ew.
that's all I ever wanted. So let's be real here. Let's be real. Was that monster even real?
The Tarask is real, but we couldn't get one in time, so.
Wait, so you're saying I wasn't even fighting the real Tarask? I wasted I wasted all that power.
Whoever told you that? Didn't anyone ever tell you that you shouldn't believe in rumors?
No,
Well, let this be the lesson. This time,
my parents were never really around. I kind of
Mine
raised
neither. I'm
myself.
also an orphan. That's not a thing for me. I'm also. Next time, when the Tarask is around, you can bet it'll be real. And you'll wish it was someone like me controlling it then.
I hate you.
He blows in your
I'm
face.
good about it. Okay, you know what? He just headbutts him.
Make a strength check with advantage because you've got him pinned.
And I got this giant hard skull orc head, so you better believe it. Where's my strength with advantage? How do I do with advantage?
Just do it twice and take the higher.
Wait,
Do it
where
twice
is
and take the
strength?
higher.
Oh, here it is.
It's on the left. Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Oh, please. Okay.
Okay. With a strength of 15, you his eyes roll back in his head and he's unconscious for a few minutes.
Should I? And I like he's just like knocked out. I'm like, I don't have any rope. Should I just like break his hands and feet?
You're not anywhere near Darius. You sprinted after this man for hundreds of feet.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He like if he wakes up, I'd have to fight him again. But if his hands and feet are broken, you know, what, I'm just gonna do it. I've made this executive decision.
Okay. Make all of the hands and the feet.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what his dominant hand is. So maybe both hands and maybe just one foot.
I will say.
But then again, he was just breathing in my face really awfully. Is that a word?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I will say that while the man is unconscious, you can break his limbs. I don't see
Sweet.
that.
All right.
Or actually,
I'll
you
take
know
my quarterstaff and I'll just break a few bones.
what? Make a quick medicine check for me, so you know which bones to break.
Oh my god!
Break his ear bones or something.
Okay, you got above a 10. You understand enough about how bones work to break some bones and drag the man back
All
to
right,
Darius.
here we go.
with his
Everyone,
unbroken foot.
all right, everyone, turn away. You know, I'm just gonna break a few bones real quick, and it's done.
It's done. So you drag his body back by the one unbroken
Wait,
foot. Yes.
can I make it be canon that when I was breaking them, I was singing "Bacon Bread" by Johnny Cash, but instead of baking bread, it's breaking bones.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Please
breaking
demonstrate.
bones,
100% yes, you can.
breaking bones. We have gathered here together to break bones.
Breaking bones. Breaking bones.
Oh, that was a bad one. All right, and then I just kind of start dragging him back to where Darius was.
You drag him back by the one unbroken limb. Darius.
Oh no, they're all broken. I made that decision.
Okay, you drag him back by a part of the limb that is not
Like
immediately.
by his, like under his arms.
Okay, you drag him back. Darius, you are standing in front of this smaller person who still has a hood over their head, with the darker cloak. Remus is escorting the blonde, cloaked person back to this spot as well, and kind of deposits them in front of the rest of you. It'll still be a little bit of time before Shoka gets back with the now unconscious and broken to bits man. What would you
So, okay, so Remus, who is this guy? Did you ask him?
Well, no, but and he kind of pushes the hood a little bit back, and you see it's actually like a younger lady, with really blonde hair shorn close to her head, and like kind of like
Okay.
crepey, thin skin. Yeah.
So I'm going to question her. Who are you? What's your status?
What's my
Name, rank, serial number. What's going on?
What's my status?
Yeah, what's your rank?
She looks at Remus like, is this guy for real? And then looks back at you like, and tries to like, does the like teenager cop by a cop thing where she jerks her wrist like that's gonna do anything. And he's like, now if you have an ounce of intelligence in you, you'll hold still while we question you. Fine, whatever. I don't have a rank. I barely have a name.
What's your name then? Come on.
My name is Hana.
Okay,
Are you gonna kill me?
got it. What's your name, sir?
The smaller person lifts up their head and pushes the cloak back. It's another young lady, a halfling. Well, she's not too young. She's older than the other girl who looks like she's a teenager. She looks up at you and goes, said?
Said?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
You realize there are people dying over there if you're such...
Yeah, I know. So, I don't know. Do you want me to break your legs like the other guy?
Oh my god.
prefer not.
Darius! Ashoka just comes up.
Yes.
Darius, I got some guy.
Oh my god.
What's his name?
I don't know, but he smells and I broke his legs, his feet and hands. Should I
Uh,
I,
break theirs too?
I thought you said his name was Reno.
Oh,
Rio.
I did say that.
Rio.
Rio, like like the place.
Okay. So
He's not dead. Don't worry. He's just passed out.
uh,
passed out from the pain.
No, I headbutted him and then I broke his appendages.
Oh.
I didn't have rope. That's the only reason why. I'm not a bad guy. I technically killed some guy before and I orphaned somebody, but I'm a pretty good guy.
you orphan somebody, so you're
yes.
just like everybody else in Portland, and she does the
Why is
useless.
everyone just so used to like orphans here? It's like, oh, I'm an orphan. That's normal. It's like, oh, I orphaned somebody. That's normal. Is this just normal to happen here, Darius?
Yes, it's awful. It's tragic. Why do you think we having so many issues with this city? Why do you think we tried to do something about it?
Are you Russian or French?
I don't know. I didn't think I was. I thought I was German.
It's all.
Suddenly, something started speaking out of my mouth. I don't know what it was.
That was Sed cutting you off. Sed looks up at you, Ashoka, and then kind of pointedly, like, changes her whole demeanor, sets her shoulder back, and goes, "Well, I don't know. What do you think I am?" And then just like
I
rolls
think
her
you're
eyes.
about to have broken hands and feet.
She rolls her eyes at you and is like, "Do your worst."
Okay, now you're Scottish.
I'll never tell.
You're Southern. What is happening, Darius?
I
Are you a
can't tell you.
teenager? Where are your parents at?
I literally just told you.
Oh, what the? Like a Southern California. Okay, Darius, I'm
I'm
uncomfortable
this
with this
one.
one.
Hana, the blonde one, shakes her head. I'm this one. I'm the unaffected teenager. Get it
Oh,
straight.
so okay, so you're a teenager, so I won't break your appendages, but I will sit you down for a stern talking to,
Oh my gosh.
make you think about what you've done. Why do I sound like old man Ashoka?
I
I'm
don't know.
27. Said
You're
offers.
27? That's
Where'd
old
you
enough.
guys go? Damn it!
Uh-oh.
Oh, Darius. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I think we had a viewer and then lost him.
Mm-hmm.
Are we, just to make sure, we are like recording, right?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Okay.
But they followed. They followed us.
That's
Oh,
cool. Maybe they
nice.
want to start from the beginning. That's cool. Thank you, viewer. You're so nice.
Unless we just scare them away and they're not coming back.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We're a particular taste.
I lost my taste years ago.
Oh, that's so tragic. Can
So
we go
who-
now?
who-
Hmm? Yes, Darius.
Who's with us? I thought Remus. Remus, do you got any rope?
Of course, I have rope. I'm an adult in Valora. Of course, I have. He offers you 50 feet of
Okay.
hempen rope.
Wow.
Okay, tie all three of these two kids together.
Well, you don't need to worry about this one. He's broken.
He does so.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you tie them together,
Oh, true.
he's going to be a drag on the other ones. So
That's a good idea. And we don't have to break the teenager's appendages, but the 27-year-old is still, up for grabs. What do you say, Sad?
I don't think you'd like to hear what I have to say.
Okay, so I'm kind of confused. Are you guys like a clockmaker?
What?
This is the message Poncho wrote. No, this is clockmaker. Oh, that's right. Oh man, my hammer pants had all my glass in it. You're so lucky. You'd be getting glass eye right now. Anyway, so Darius, I don't think they're probably going to be answering any questions. So I think we should just kind of take care of them, make sure they can't get away, and then go take care of that water situation.
exactly,
'Cause
that's
I'm
what I'm
pretty
thinking.
I'm
That's why I
pretty sure
want
there's
you
a
to.
monster over there as well.
A what?
I'm pretty sure there's something in the water. If I understood things correctly, I think there might be something in that water as well. Unless if I misunderstood something.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to glance over and make another perception check as well?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and do so. I'll have Remus make one as well. Remus.
Also, where is
Where's
Iris
Iris?
and what's their name?
Maud.
Okay, weren't we with somebody else? Wasn't there someone who's accompanying Iris a lot? Some lady?
Costco?
Costco.
Suarez.
Where is
Kasha,
she? Kasha, yeah, where's Kasha?
Um.
have you considered where your sister is?
Eh,
Yeah.
I've considered where Gregnet is more than my
Morgana.
sister.
Wow.
Wow. Remus
Where
is.
is Morgana?
Um. With your perception check of 21, Ashoka. When you like dashed across the river and then went to go climb the city wall, you realized that you didn't see Vorgana anywhere, but you did see like in the start of the tree line further into the wilds, you saw like pieces of metal across the ground.
Ooh, that's
And
bad.
that is about as much as you recall.
Okay.
As far as Kasha, you weren't one of the last people who talked to her. You're not really sure.
And I barely know who she is, so
Yeah, you barely know who she is. But you see that one of the water gates, in the minutes that you guys have been standing here, one of the gates of water has closed above the council center, and two more remain open. And as you look up, um, something else along with the water is starting to try to wiggle out of one of the gates, but it's too big and cannot make its way through.
ooh, okay, that's probably bad.
Darius, you also see that one of them has disappeared. You don't quite see the thing trying to climb through. Remus doesn't see any of this. He's tying people up. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, Darius, in case you didn't see it, there is a thing trying to wiggle out. Thirdly, why did I say thirdly? Secondly, um, as you can probably see, one of those things closed. Do you think that these people have anything to do with those water things?
No, I don't. So
You
once they're
don't?
tied up, we're all going to get on the magic carpet and go to the city center.
Okay. I'm just gonna point it out just because I think it's worth noting. One of them did close after one of these three people did, you know, clock out. That probably has nothing to do with anything. But there are three portals, from what I understand, and they appeared at the same time these people did.
You see Sed rolls her eyes. You really don't
Said,
know anything, do you?
I absolutely don't. I wear that like a necklace.
Listen here, boy. You live in the city long enough, you learn to give in to the chaos of it and just do with what you can. Alright? That's what this was. Everything else is already going to shit. Why not be a part of it in some way?
Okay, I'll be sure to tell Slipknot that so they can put on their new album. Okay, Darius, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Darius.
Everybody get on the carpet and let's go.
Only four.
Every,
Darius, only four people can fit on the carpet, and these are three prisoners, which is like.
no, I don't. I'm going to leave them there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I thought that you were gonna try. Okay, cool. He gets on the
They're
carpet.
they're gonna escape. I just know it, but that's okay. They're kind of greasy and gross. I don't really want much to do with them anyway.
Hana huffs at you instead, is just giving you a cold, cold stare.
Yeah, that's okay.
Said one
Uh,
day you and I will fight, and it will be great.
I'm looking
But today is
forward
not that
to
day.
it.
yeah, Remus knows how to tie a knot. So
Okay.
I taught
So let's
many of
go.
you. All right. Maud makes her way out from behind some bushes that she was hiding behind for quite a while. She looks super, super pale and not happy. She gets on the carpet anyway. Remus gets on the carpet. You two get on the carpet. Iris is not there.
Ooh, okay. Wait.
everybody,
Should
we're going
one
to
of us?
go to city center, but everybody keep their eye out for Iris.
Okay.
We're not going to go fast. We're going to go slow.
Do you think it could be a good idea maybe if one of us, i.e., Maud, stays behind to watch them, but also watch out for Iris, or should we all stay together?
You want to leave me behind with those
Okay, no, okay,
hooligans?
it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. Forget I said it.
Wait a second.
I thought you just wanted adventure, is all.
Wait a second. You shut up for 5 seconds. She like squints at them. Those look like some other rascals who ambushed my cart.
Do you want to kill him?
I want my cart. Do you know how many magical items? Do you know how many magical items were on that cart? Do you know how helpful that could all be in the middle of this? Hey,
Okay,
you!
well, let's.
She hops off of the carpet and then realizes what she's done and then like stands back underneath the carpet where you guys are hovering and glares out from underneath of it like a cat in a Disney movie. What did you What did you do with my stuff? And none of the people on the tree say anything. They just like look between her and you, not like processing what's going on.
Speak up or we'll hurt you.
Roll an intimidation check with disadvantage.
Ah. Come on. Ah.
Oh.
Wow.
I thought you didn't want to break my teenage bones, guy.
Well, this is a fantasy world, so I can live with it. It might not be intimidating, but I am frustrated.
You just tell me what all my stuff is. It's mine. I made a lot of it, and I collected the rest of it, and it's mine. And then just tell me what you did with it. Where is it? Sed looks over and goes, "You wouldn't understand. We hid it in some of the places the darkest secrets of this city are kept. Beneath and beneath and beneath and beneath."
You mean like the Underdark?
She looks over at you and kind of looks you up and down. The Underdark, that's not part of the city. The Underdark is like a different realm.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was just kind of like a little area, like a storage unit or something.
She looks away from you and doesn't continue to talk. I don't know if this needs to... I'm losing voices left and right.
Oh.
Cool,
Hey,
I'm
Maud,
gone.
Do you think that if we had those magic things, it could help with what that water situation is?
It could, but
Do
I
you
don't know
have
if
any
it's worth
idea?
the time.
Do you have any idea what is happening over there with the water?
You talked to me about the Triumvirate, right? There was 3 of them.
What's that again? Is that a band?
The trumpet.
The powerful druids who were part of the wilds before the inheritors of the wilds were even a thing.
Okay. Are they cool?
I mean, not like in a good person kind of way, but in a like powerful woman, even though we disagree about some things in a kind of way.
Okay.
I don't know about all of this. What do you think I am? I live in a house covered with flowers. What do you want from me?
I work at a park in the suburbs.
You do not work at a park. You just turned into a giant god.
I'll do it again next Friday.
Okay, good. Let's keep that on the record. So let's go. Get
All right,
on
yeah,
the
we-
carpet. Let's go.
Okay,
We just gotta go take care of this water.
Okay. Okay. Maud
I'm
gets
gonna
back
save
on the
some
carpet.
people.
And you guys do a low zoom to go and search for Iris on the streets. We're going to cut back once.
How did
more.
she get over the wall? How did she get over the wall?
She's a magical little girl. Magical 15-year-old.
Wait, can before we fly away, can I throw a dart at Sed? Not
Sure.
fatally, just to frustrate.
Sure, you get to attack with advantage since she's like tied up.
Yes. Dart.
Advantage.
No.
So go ahead.
There we go.
Oh.
They both land on either side of her ear, and she just like wolf grins at you as you fly.
Sed!
Anyway, and with that, we're we're gonna cut back to Vincent and Pam for just a moment.
I love it.
Okay. So, you guys are walking into this um, cavern. Let's see, who did this last time? Was it Ashoka? Anyway, you guys are walking into this cavern that you're not quite sure why it exists, but it must have been something that Wanda had seen because that's how that would work. And you walk further and further in, and as you do, it starts to get kind of smaller and smaller until the point where, like, Vincent, you're having to, like, Pam, you're having to, like, hunch down, and Vincent, you're having to, like, seriously crouch, where it's almost easier to just kind of, like, army crawl.
Aw. Wait, we're still on Griffin, right? Or no?
You would have had to have landed and walked, and Griffin would have followed along behind you until he couldn't anymore. Do you want to try to get him to, like, crouch and wiggle down? It would be kind of hard for Griffin because wings.
Yeah, he's okay there. He'll be our bodyguard.
Okay. So Griffin is chilling on the peak outside. You guys go further and further and further in. Both of you, please make perception checks as you move in.
Okay. Is this bad? Should we be doing this?
I
Should we turn back?
mean, I guess we're already doing it, so.
I mean, you guys could follow the light, or you could fly off on Griffin into darkness. Blame not me. As you get further and further, the lights get closer and closer together as the walls kind of come further and further in, and you look up, and Vincent, were you the one who was here before?
I don't know.
Fair.
Am I?
You look up and you see there's a little wooden P on the ground, and you look up and you see a misspelled Greg Nutt's workshop above a very small door.
What?
Oh. I think Ashoka was there, right?
Yeah, that was me.
That was a
Yeah. Oh.
Now, Nick, would you care to be
Yes.
Greg Nutt in your workshop?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, so do we come out directly? We're like in the little hallway thing that leads, right?
You're in the little
Okay.
hallway thing that leads to his workshop. The last time Ashoka had been in the workshop, he opened up the window above the sink and let in a bunch of dirt into the sink and then over the beans. And I think maybe broke a couple things. And then the P appeared, the bright narrator voice came in, some stuff happened. But now Gregnan is actually in his workshop. So you don't hear bright narrator voice. You just see the fallen P, see the door, and hear from inside.
What a mess. I just got cleaned it up and then I get back to work. And
I wonder if Ashoka ever told the rest of the crew what had happened when he was in.
I
I
highly
Greg
definitely did
Nutt's
not.
shop.
I pick up the pee and I look at Pam and I'm like, hey, I gotta take a pee. And then I point it out with the other hand. And I point at the pee and I point back at Pam. Point at the pee and I point back at Pam. And I just like smile and shrug my shoulders and I'm like, ah.
I try not to laugh, but I do anyway. Grab it from
hello? Who's there?
Greg Nut?
Greg Nut just comes running out with his hammer.
I
Hello?
try to put the pee back up on the workshop before he comes out.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Greg Nut.
Yeah, what's going on? What are you guys doing here? It's like, what's going on?
What? It's kind of a long story. Wait, what are you doing here? Weren't you just back with?
How are you
This
even
is
here?
my
Weren't you
workshop.
But
Yeah.
weren't you just back with everyone else?
Yeah. Anyway.
Gregnet, when Ashoka came back onto the scene, something like weird happened in your stomach, and you like walked away for a second, and then all of a sudden you were just in your workshop, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, what she said. I just,
But who
What he-
said?
nothing. I just I just kind of walked off, and then I just kind of ended up home, and just started smithing and watering my beans.
Okay.
You guys. I'm being rude. Sorry. You guys like thirsty or hungry or something?
Can I have a bean? I don't.
Well,
I mean, I haven't had a bean in a while.
I'll just have water, thank you.
Okay, here's some water. It's dirt water.
It
It's
is
healthy
brown.
for you. It's healthy. Don't worry.
I look at the beans like they're staring into my soul, and I'm just like, not again.
Oh yeah, you're hungry? Here, have some bean
No,
casserole.
I'm fine.
Oh,
I have
Bean
okay.
casserole.
Gregnet, what color of beans has your little green pot grown for you today? You can pick
Let's
3 colors of bean.
let's take a look. Oh, this one's red.
Okay,
I
red.
wasn't expecting that this harvest.
Mm-hmm. A red bean. What are the other 2 colors?
Yeah, the other one is yellow. I saw that coming. And this one is it's black.
Oh,
Black.
what's wrong with a black bean?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, it's normal. Just kidding. It's never happened before.
Oh, why would you joke
But
about
I get new beans all the time. Just gotta, see what happens, nurture them all like you love them all. That's what I've always said. You guys have probably heard me
Right.
say that before.
No,
Okay, well, right. Anyway,
not
here's that
one.
bean casserole you're both hungry for.
Yeah. Don't be rude, Vincent. Eat some. What kinds of beans are in this?
Oh, green beans.
Green beans?
Yeah,
So
just
what?
normal green beans. There's no magic in it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I'm hungry. I feel like I haven't eaten in days. So
Probably haven't. Do you guys want some magic beans or something? I'm still kind of getting used to it. I'm not like a wizard or something. Just it's there.
yeah.
Maybe later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
I got them in my little bean satchel.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just. It's weird that you're here and that we're here too. You know.
Yeah, how'd you guys get here?
So we met this oracle, and then we kind of blew her
The
up.
Elder Oracle?
Yeah. How did you know about her?
It's just, she's kind of well known.
Okay. Have you ever met her? I mean, because
Um,
there's lots of oracles, so the fact that you would guess the elder oracle is kind of strange.
There's a lot of oracles.
I mean, yeah, right? In like
I mean,
history.
yeah, sure. There's some around different places, but I visited her once or twice.
What
Bought her
happened?
some beans.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, we just ate the beans.
Oh, did you ever eat the wheat?
No,
Do you want to eat the wheat? And I pull
no.
some out. Are you
My
sure?
my medicine man tells me I
Very
should
good.
eat more wheat, but
Greg, are you sure? I start putting it in his face, and I'm like, really? It's right here.
uh, I, I don't
It's right in
I
front of me.
don't know what to say.
Vincent and Pam, you have both eaten of the wheat, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Both of you, as you look towards the new bean crop that Greg Nut has, the red, yellow, and black beans, you can kind of look at them and blink for a second, and then there's like a little flicker of not necessarily color or a shifting or anything, but just kind of possibility and intention. The red is some kind of power, but it's a dangerous power that could help or hurt. Yellow is a kind of foresight or magical advancement. Um, and then black is um, will take you to a place, time, or memory when something bad happened, but you get to stay where you go, where you're like thinking of, if you focus on it.
Okay.
What are you guys looking at my beans for?
Never again.
And
Never again. Run out.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, man, is she alright?
So we can recognize that these are what the beans do.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I want to eat a bean. I mean, why
Wait,
else
what
are
do
we
you
here,
mean?
right? Huh?
Wait, what do you mean?
Can I eat one of those new beans?
Um,
One of those
uh,
fresh ones?
I
Fresh?
don't know.
Come
Why do
on,
you want to eat
come on, Greg.
them?
Now don't be a nerd.
What? I
Hey,
don't want to be a nerd.
Don't be.
hold up. You can't just go around calling people nerds,
Greg
right?
nut, more like nerd nut.
Oh man,
Okay,
that was really good.
Yeah.
All
Greg,
right,
you
yeah,
hear
But
all right,
anyway,
all right. Here we go.
remember what happened when I ate those beans? I don't think this is a good idea.
I mean,
Gregnut, you do hear a
Yeah.
slight stirring in the back of your head going, Gregnut, why do they tease you so? You other two
Uh,
don't hear this.
I don't know. I guess they're just joking, you know.
Do you like these people? Are they your friends? Does this joking make you happy?
I mean, I like them, but you know, I would prefer to not be ridiculed.
Oh,
You should tell
well, I'm
them
glad
that.
you brought it up to us.
did he say
Wait,
that
you're
out loud?
talking to us, right?
What? Oh, sorry, I was talking to her. Hey guys, you know, this is my home and my workplace as well. You know, I got a lot of customers. It is just as orders some potted beans, and
Mhm.
Oh,
you know, it's like this. You can't call me a nerd here. You know,
oh, okay. Only on your personal time, right?
I, I mean, if it's as long as it's joking and not just trying to get something out of me, like my magic beans.
Oh,
You guys
sure,
want some
Greg.
soda, by the way? I like I
Wait,
make it.
if we
So,
wanted beans, why would we call you a nerd?
right?
That seems like a bad tech pan.
Yeah, I thought so too, but you know.
Come on, guys. We're all friends here.
That sounds like something a nerd would say, right, Greg Nut?
That's right.
Oh, come
I'd
on.
reach
Come on, you
for a
guys.
fist bump from him.
You guys do that weird like fist bump but high five thing. Like one of your fist bumps would be high fives.
Yeah.
The voice chimes in the back of your head again, Gregnut, and goes, I see now. You tease your friends. All is good. I don't have to smite them. Lovely.
What
Yeah,
the?
we're good. Thanks. You don't have to smite them.
What the?
What?
What did you say?
Who's gonna smite us?
The voice
Right?
fades away.
Don't worry, guys. It's just she's just chilling. It's fine.
What are you
So
talking
yeah.
about? Okay.
So why? Just out of
I
curiosity, it's like
whisper to
why?
Pam, and I'm like, I think we should go.
Not
And
without
Greg
the
just like
bean.
turns around with a hammer in his hand. Why?
Uh,
But his
Uh,
back
no,
wasn't
I'm
to
just
us
kidding.
before. His back
Yeah.
was just
oh.
to us.
No, I'm just kidding. You guys can go. But I mean,
Okay.
I'll go with you guys. Like, I'm kind of
Yeah, please come with us.
back.
Like, I think Griffin can probably carry all of us. Maybe.
I can walk. I'm a fast runner.
Really? I kind of look down. Really?
But what?
You have hooves. I don't. Would
Yeah.
that like impede
Horses
you?
have hooves and they're really fast.
Well, that's 4 hooves. You have 2 hooves.
You're so smart, Gregnut.
What
Alright,
if-
thanks.
Isn't it kind of like high heels? And you can't really run in high heels.
Well, if you're talented enough, you can.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's true.
Here, let me just pack up some stuff, some beans, some smithing tools, and we'll be on our way. Do you guys
Can
need
I-
anything here? You know,
Can I have one of those new beans?
my casa is your casa.
Have any cool weapons?
I
Can
can
I
make
at
you
least-
a weapon. What do you want?
Can I please just have a
Ooh.
bean?
Here, have it. I
Can you
throw
make
you
me
a
like?
Random bean from a satchel.
No, I want one of those special beans.
I did. Yeah, it's one of them.
What? Wait,
It's
which
one
one
of-
is it?
I don't know. Which one do you want?
Let's see.
Okay, you pick your bean, and then hey, you pick your weapon, and I'll make you super fast.
Can you make me like a metal claw blade thing? 'Cause that would be cool. Like a glove that has like metal claws.
You mean a gauntlet?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Bam, bam. There you go.
Cool.
He hands you a small wooden fork that has been, the tines have been bent.
I can actually
Oh.
forge things, though. I can. I'm a smith. I can do this.
Okay, can I? Okay,
You just
Vincent,
wanted
which bean
give
do you
him
want to
something
take?
To impress him, and you didn't have much
Thanks.
time. A real friend will understand and appreciate.
Yeah,
your work.
if you really want a gauntlet, I'd have to spend more time on it.
That's fine. I didn't want it right now.
Okay,
Like,
I'll just work on it,
some
and then I'll
point.
give it to you later.
okay.
And yeah, you can take a bean if you want.
I'm fine, thanks.
Vincent, which bean do you? Okay, can I just take all 3 of them and you save them for later?
Well, they should stay in my bean satchel.
Okay,
The
but can
beans do better when they socialize.
um,
Just
okay.
like my little Gregnut.
Yeah.
What? What? Are you, what?
Hey, we really have to go.
Are you agreeing with yourself right now?
No, I mean,
I just grab Pam and slowly start backing out. All right, Greg. We'll see you.
No,
where are you
Greg Knight's
going?
coming with us. We have to stick
Yeah.
together, okay?
This is a workshop. He's
So-
fine.
So
Can I-
if you all take a black bean, you could all go.
There's only one of each, right?
Oh, there is only one of each.
There's new beans, right?
I might have some other ones like it lying around. I don't know. Probably not.
Well,
I just grow them.
like the white bean Ashoka ate last time, each of these new beans is quite large. So
Yeah, they're
you can
chunky.
fit you can each take a bite out of one of them.
Right.
Oh, awesome! You should all eat the black bean. Back
Yeah,
to
I
the
kind of
city.
want. I kind of want to try the black bean.
Alright.
Okay. Can I first make an insight check on Greg Knight?
Sure. What are you trying to determine about Greg Nut?
Why he's talking to himself?
He's
Okay.
just standing there, kind of smiling.
Your insight is that much like Vincent has his weird quirks, Greg Nut has his own weird quirks. Maybe he's been lonely for a long time, so he kind of talks to himself. That's about.
What? That's no. It's definitely more than that.
Hey,
I'm definitely
hey,
ignoring the inside voice. No, I don't think so. I think I have more sense than that, actually, despite whatever role I might have made.
Yeah, like I have quirks, but I'm not like that.
You
Yeah, it's
carved
more
a
than
lion's face into a mountain
Hey, you chose that for me.
because of what you rolled. Do you guys know how this game works? Oh,
okay,
gosh.
whatever. I'm just
All
gonna.
right, Greg, no, let's go.
Okay, I just
I don't
saw
want
your
to stay here
Griffin.
anymore.
Okay. First I'm gonna eat one of these beans. Take
Okay.
a bite of one of these beans, and I'm gonna take a bite of the black bean. So
Okay.
you guys have to make sure I do nothing weird. Okay. Also, Griffin might disappear while I'm doing this. I don't know. We'll see.
What are you thinking of when you take a bite of this black bean?
Well, because I know what it's kind of supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So something bad. Does it have to be a memory of mine?
No, you just have to focus on. It's more dangerous if it's not a memory of yours because you don't know exactly what you're popping yourself into. But you can focus on a particular place or a particular person, and you get the vague sense that it's kind of flexible, but it's just more concrete if you have something of your own to focus on versus focusing on an idea of a place.
I can't decide if I want to. Okay. I'm thinking about. Okay, I'll save that other one for later. Okay, I'm thinking about. Gosh, there's so many things. Okay, I'm thinking about the room, the evil room,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't
and
go there.
the doctor, and I already know about the skull, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of, yeah. I'm thinking about what happened and where it went wrong and where he went. Kind of thing.
Okay. So you think about that and you move forward to take a bite of this bean. I want you to
Don't-
roll a.
Do you tell everybody first?
Well, I tell everybody I'm going to take a bite of the bean. Yeah.
I want you to make a. What would it be for a concentration check?
Oh gosh.
It'll be either a Constitution or Wisdom saving throw. The
Okay.
higher you get, the better this is for you. The more power you have over this thing.
So I still get +5, correct?
You do.
I get +5 for myself, right?
Mm-hmm. However,
Okay.
once you go, but that's fine.
Okay. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, precautions. Vincent, can you just carry me,
Okay.
please? I don't know what's gonna happen when I take the bite of this bean.
Like right now?
Yeah, ha, right now.
Okay.
I take a bite of the bean.
Okay. Oh, nice. And then that's +5 as well, right?
Yeah.
So 27. Okay. So you're focusing mainly on the place where you think this most horrible thing happened. Since you are this wise and you're focusing so hard, what time is it that you want to appear?
I guess just like ah like and it's a time that would give me a clue of where he went, maybe.
Okay. All right. So you take a bite of this bean, and then Vincent, you go from carrying Pam like in your arms to a nothing in your arms and a bean falling onto the ground.
Oh gosh.
That Gregnet, I
Welp.
assume, quickly dives under and catches
I
in
got
slow
you.
motion
Before it even touches the ground.
before it even touches the ground. While Pam, you find yourself standing in the room, and then it's weird because you had enough control over it that this is one of the worst places in the city to be, undoubtedly. So the bean was like, "This sounds miserable. Of course you can go here." Um, but because of the time that you were trying to force yourself into, a few things kind of happen at once. Like you're watching Ghosts on a VHS tape fast forward through time, you can see uh, the humanoid form of this skull that you still have in your scarf moving around these different tables with a bunch of different patients, like it's on fast forward moving in double time. And you watch that go faster and faster and faster and faster until you watch as the person who becomes the skull is killed. And you watch this kind of sped up version happening in front of you as this kind of angular man with a very thin face, the beady eyes.
So I can finally see him.
You can see him, and you can see that he matches kind of the description that this other guy had. He looks a little bit like a mix between, oh gosh, who's that guy? Shucks. A, who's the name of the priest guy from Notre Dame?
Oh.
From Esmeralda. A little
who
bit
you're
like,
talking about.
yeah, a little bit like that, but his hair is more like Astro Boy's hair, but shock white and going back on his head, bald on top, like dark eyes, a really thin, drawn-in face. That's still like, and it's irritating because it's still a little bit handsome, and you're like, ah, screw you for having that. And you make a perception check for me as you're watching this go by in fast motion.
And I don't recognize him. Ah.
Unfortunately, no. You do see a brief flash of some kind of a...
Wait, can I make a reroll? Since it
Oh, you want to use your chaos thing? Let me check my thing really quick for you. Because
just since we're probably nearing the end of the session anyway.
Yeah. Very much may. I am just...
Might as well.
Mm-hmm. This one. Okay, go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Oh no.
Your roll becomes a critical failure, which it already was.
Okay. That's
Okay.
Nothing changed.
You see like a brief letter flash in his hand that you think would tell him where to go next, but because it's moving so fast, you can't see any information on it. And time continues to, as it goes further into the future that you're more familiar with, you catch a glimpse of someone who looks familiar to that inheritor of the wild a little bit that you saw in some of the last experiments that he was doing. And then it continues going on, and you see the dirt piling up over the years. You see like the tracks being built overhead. You see the skull hanging out in here, and occasionally just like bursting fire over the walls because he's irritated. And then time slows down as you get further and further into the future, closer to the present, and you watch as a group of two people with black cloaks come and push a cart through the opening that was slowly dug out over the past few days. The same place that you guys had come down before was ripped open further and dug out by these people, and then a cart was just shoved down here and items and like goods were just tumbled all over the floor, and it's slows down, slows down, slows down until it stops at the present time, and you look down, and you see Maud's cart
Oh.
of all her stuff
Hmm.
in this room. But you're also by yourself, and you didn't see where the gosh darn guy went, however many years ago. And also, Vincent isn't here.
So wait, am I stuck here?
You don't know.
Mm.
And Vincent has empty arms. You all are heading over to see what you can salvage of the council building in the city center. Pam may or may not be strapped beneath the city.
Should I eat the bean too?
We can do that now if you like, or we can start with it next time. But if you would like to, go ahead. It'll be the same thing, same kind of set of rules that you'll have to make. Well, you'll have to make a wisdom or constitution saving throw. And the higher you get on it, the better it will go for you. Pam's went very, very well. Be aware of that. And even she didn't get quite what she wanted.
A wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom or constitution, it just depends. Basically, you're like thinking your way through the power of the bean, or you are so strong constitutionally, you're able to just kind of like, know this.
Do I get to choose?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Whichever's higher. And then you need to tell me what you're thinking of. And also, Gregnet, you just got this bean back after Pam disappeared, and she almost dropped it. Are you good with letting Vincent take a bite?
Okay, you can take a bite, but just promise you won't drop it.
I mean, I'm gonna disappear like she.
All right, just here. Let me just position yourself over the counter so that it doesn't fall.
Okay.
Or you can hold it, Gregnut.
Okay, that's true. I'll feed you.
Um,
Here.
I mean, I'll just hold it over the counter.
Okay.
Here, he just puts like a little soft cloth under it. There we go.
Actually, can I think
Hello?
about where I
Hello?
want to go
Hello?
and talk to you about it for next time?
Sure.
Okay.
It is with these slightly closer together but still broken apart party that we will end today's session. Closing in, the bombs have been dealt with on the refresh, but now the repercussions of what has been done from the wilds to the city is coming upon everyone's minds, as all this other extra dimensional stuff is also coming to play, and that is where we will end today's session.
Woo!
Did
Bravo,
wait, did he eat the bean?
Not
I
yet.
did, yes.
Pam did. Darius didn't. I mean, Vincent didn't yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, my brain is fried. Thank you all for playing. I hope you had fun.
Was
This
so
was-
fun.
This
Good to
was
be back.
a month after
Mhm.
the last
last-
one, and
yep.
it was the 30th episode.
Woo!
Hey.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
And
That's
we're
awesome.
still in
Portland!
Portland.
At least we're out of the dungeon, or like that dungeon area.
True. I feel like we're about to leave Fort Wayne.
Yeah, something's gotta change, y'all. But we will be back next week. Hopefully, you guys will be all back together. We'll figure something out.
We'll have
And
Organa with us, hopefully.
hopefully,
Yes, indeed.
if so long as Vorgana has been, we'll figure something out for Vorgana. All right, guys. Do you want to do your very special sign off?
Yes.
You know it.
All right. I will do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And
that's
just
how
we roll.
roll.
Thank you, everybody. Good night, and we love you. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everybody.
for joining.
Bye,
See you next
everybody.
time. Love
For
you
that
all.
one viewer, please come.
Bye-bye.
Bye.